Twice.
I see it live. We're live.
All right.
We did it. We did it.
Nobody do it. Nobody.
All right.
We're live.
All right, have a great afternoon, guys. It's been fun.
That's problem 5.
Oh
okay.
man! Wow.
So,
That is.
Whew.
Problem
Give me a second.
478 on this list.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
I'm hosting it now. Good job. Oh wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, guys. Oh,
Okay.
technical
Chat, you have
difficulties.
no
Am
idea.
I right?
You have no idea.
You don't know what we just went through to make this work.
I just lost 2 years of my life.
We just lost like 8, dude. Are you kidding me?
Okay, so occasionally things are going to have to break and move. I'm sorry in advance, but I will do the best I can.
Looks good.
So,
Oh.
whew, okay. I need to open one more page.
That's alright, we still love you.
Thank you. I
Oh
appreciate
man,
it.
this. I don't think you guys understand all the tech support issues we just went through. It was. Oh, it was terrible.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start us off, and then I will kind of fix the things that need to be fixed on the fly.
Cool.
Awesome. So I'll wait until all the host alerts are. Oh, okay, we're on Raymat's host alert. So hi guys, my name is Red, and I am your DM for now. Mixer.com/Rednolas. Yo, what up? So the goal today is a one-shot to kind of test the waters for doing a more consistent Positive Pineapples DM kind of cast thing, and we are all super excited. So for those of you who know what the Wolves of Welton is, that is the one-shot we will be going through. I am not going to spoil anything because they should be looking at you guys in the dark about what we are doing. And so I will give each of them a chance to kind of introduce themselves, their character, and we will go from there. So let's start with Papa Pineapple himself.
Next, because I'm not sure yet.
Okay, we'll start with Fefinator herself.
Okay, well, don't want to give like too much away. Not that there's many secrets, but my name is DerekSmifz. I am a moon elf priestess, traveling and basically sharing the moonlight and the blessings of the goddess saloon with everybody, and going on a little quest to help people and basically partying everywhere. Yep.
Awesome. ComfyGamer.
My name is Cernan. I'm a human. I work as a mercenary assassin. I dress up in about like 5'11", normal human height. I got bright white hair and glowing yellow eyes, as most humans do, and I wear a bright pink trench coat as my sign of disgrace.
All right. DerekSmifz.
I am Dramos. I am a tiefling warlock. Really just a guy traveling the land, learning as much as he can learn. I'm way into books, reading, those sort of things. Any kind of scrolls. Give me all the scrolls.
Hackman.
Hello, my name is Des. I am a tiefling, purple skinned, horns that come out of like the middle of my head and kind of curve back and around just to right underneath my ears. The eyes are this very bright, vibrant purple with like specks of white in them. That almost looks like as if you're looking into like just the early morning sky with different stars in it. I wear simple monk garb, and you see this weird tattoo that kind of will occasionally comes up over my neck and is tattooed on my face that looks like some form of serpent's head that is then tattooed where the jaws are just right over my eye and kind of like wide open. I am a tiefling monk.
What color is your skin?
Purple. Very dark, like kind of like a darker, like a dark,
Like you see the wall like right up to the right of his head?
yeah, like this-
probably about that.
Like
that is that about right?
yeah, it's a little darker than that, but basically this color, like a little darker than
That's
that.
All right. WieldingHammer.
I am WieldingHammer. I am without a face, and my name is Lunaria Stormblood. I am a half-elf ranger. Black hair, scars across the eyes, and some emerald green eyeballs.
And and do you want to give it a try? Hidden.
Yeah, so my name is Nazrin Abassi. I'm an elf rogue. I have been abandoned by my family. I'm a charlatan of sorts, and apparently I'm pretty good at assassinating people.
All right.
What race were you? You're an elf?
Elf.
Elf.
Hi, elf.
I elf.
And I need to get these names again.
So do you want to say the names once more for those with pen and paper?
Yep.
So just one at a time.
Yes.
So, okay. Checkmark pen and paper, everyone, because I know I have like 18 sheets in front of me.
I have a notepad right now.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have that. Should I have that?
I would suggest.
I would suggest it.
I would suggest a pencil if you have it
Yes.
with an eraser.
I ain't no bitch. I'm using a pen.
my
Same.
God.
I don't have instincts.
Okay, cool.
You do need a pencil though if you have like I have a
character
paper
sheet.
I have a paper character sheet, so I need a
Me
pen.
too.
I need a pencil with an eraser because you
Ditto,
constantly
like,
have to
every
adjust
time
stuff.
you level, yeah,
Okay.
Okay, so
gain health.
So while you guys are doing your micromanaging bit, I will just do the exposition part then. I'll do the pre-read. So it's the same
Hiddnen's
thing that's
okay.
on the right-hand side of the screen. So it's like, yeah, just reading it for chat. So it's been a long time since the people of Welton have worried about anything more frightening than sheep ticks or late frost. But now a pack of strangely determined wolves is driving farmers from their fields and spiriting away entire flocks in the middle of the night. With food supplies running low and their sorcerer in residence nowhere to be found, the village council sends out desperate plea for brave adventurers to destroy the beasts for good. Is the job as easy as a walk in the woods, or is there more wolves of Welton, or is there more to the wolves of Welton than mere animal cunning? There's only one way to find out. So, as soon as, yep, there he is. Awesome.
CERMNAN.
So, let's start with Orc. Let's start with.
It was a wolf.
Let's start with Hidden. So just give everybody a character name real quick so they can write it down.
Nazrin Abassi.
That's right. Got it.
N-A...
SRIN ABBASI.
A-B-B-S-I.
ASI. ABBASI.
A lot of the names are in Roll20 if you want to hop over there
Yeah.
as well.
I just couldn't tell who was who. That was my issue.
They're a
don't
little
see
too
them in
small to
Roll20.
read on the stream, but you can. The only one that's wrong is Fef's is misspelled
So
on Roll20. Unless you want to be dreary.
Where does it say dreary?
that's
Dreyer.
fine. Dreyer.
DREYER.
Oh.
On Roll20, it's on my screen. It's DRERY.
Yep,
Yeah,
same.
Dreary? No. Wait.
No. Keep it.
So Fef, tell us what your name should be, and we'll write it down.
Dreyer. D-R-E-R... Wait. D-R-E-Y-R. D-R-E... Oh, hey,
Dreyer.
look. I see how... I'm gonna fix it.
Got it, Dreyer. Cool.
Got you. All right, ComfyGamer.
Cernan. CERNAN. Cernan.
Awesome.
So on here, so if we need to talk, I'm sorry. If we need to talk to each other in the game secretly, like our character whispers to one another, we do it on here. We use this command, this whisper command. Like
I'll just
in
DM in
Roll20.
Discord.
I was gonna say in Roll20 or Discord could work, yeah.
Discord.
I'll
would
just
be
use
better.
Discord, 'cause that'll be
I am
easier.
Not gonna have whispers open on Roll20. I'm gonna have other things.
All right, gotcha.
Okay.
Cool. So Discord. Cool.
So
And I
Discord
do
for
apologize,
sure.
Hackman, how did you spell that one more time?
Yeah, Hackman's next.
Or
Des.
who did?
Comfy was Cernan,
C-E-R-N-A-N.
CERNAN. Hackman is Des, DES.
D-E-S?
All right. And
DES.
Derek, once more.
Dramos. DRAMOZ. Gotta get-
DRAMEZ?
M-O-Z.
I'm Ozzy.
Got to get that DZ, you know, for the branding. And
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Hot.
And last but not least, WieldingHammer.
Lunaria, Lunaria.
One more time.
Lunaria.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
Dankeschön.
Awesome. Anything else before we get started?
I think once we have that written down, we're ready to go.
Awesome. Okay.
precursor. It's 2 of our first time, so don't judge us for being terrible, or me.
We're gonna judge you terribly harshly. It'll be fine. No, it'll be
I'll
totally
be
fine.
judged
We'll
the
walk,
shit out of you.
Hey,
we
me.
will walk you through. It'll be great. If you have any
Yes.
questions, please feel free to DM myself. I'm sure Comfy, Fef, and Hackman can also answer any questions.
Absolutely.
Or most questions. I'm not going to answer any questions.
What is the meaning of life?
42. All right.
42.
Nope, that's the answer, not the meaning. What's the that was the answer, not the meaning. There's a difference.
So, I need a different song for this.
Pirates of the Caribbean song.
The 6 of you, find yourself on the road around the same time, answering the call for help that Welton has put out for solving their wolf problem. So you've arrived or been together on the road for, I don't know, a few hours by the time you've all set out from the previous cities. So you have a time now to converse for a little bit as you are on the road, moving forward. It's pretty clear, just like, it's not a super paved road, it's pretty rough. Usually traveled by, tradesmen, merchants, etc., but not like an imperial road. And it's about midday.
Are we just walking? Do we have
you're
a?
just walking right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're heading to Welton
You are
to answer the
heading
call.
towards Welton. Yes.
And assuming we were at the last town doing the same thing, we ended up grouping up for the next one.
Yes.
All right.
Hey, what do you guys think this is gonna pay?
I don't know, at least 3. Hopefully.
3 gold. That's all you're wanting?
That's
Out of
only
this?
half a gold each.
Oh, I was hoping for 3 pounds of gold. Sorry.
Oh, 3 pounds of gold. That would be. Oh man. There's so much.
Yeah,
I
There's
I
so
can't
much I could do
calculate.
with that. There's so much I could do with that. That'd be oh man.
What would you do with that, Des?
I don't know. Many things. There's a bunch of many things. I don't know. I mean,
I'd
there's
buy
there's
new knives.
I mean, there's some things that there's some things that I want. There's some things that I want, but there's some things that I want, but I mean, I know a few other people and know some other individuals back at the town that we just left. Man, they're desperately needing some. They're desperately needing some things.
You could,
Hey,
we could
we
get rid of
could
those
buy
old,
the
dirty
town.
hand wraps and get some new ones.
Yeah, but these, I mean, you don't know much about. I mean, these got some meaning to them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, these are woven from the most beautiful, from one of the most beautiful sheep and animals that is called a that's like their fur is this like just beautiful like sparkly green color, and they run around throughout the undergrowth of the forest where I'm from, and they're so beautiful.
They may be
As
pretty, but they're very
Hackman
dirty.
goes on
They're-
about his gloves, you're like
I'm sorry, who?
cresting as
Nasrin.
Des
Yes.
is
Dang it.
talking about his wraps. You are cresting a hill, and on the bottom side of this hill, you start to see like these 2 forms in the distance running rather erratically, like away from the road, like towards the woods. So you start to
Like-
see. Go ahead.
Like they're running off of the road into the woods.
Off of the road into the woods, and they have a flock of sheep near them that is also running around erratically. As you guys go down the hill, you start to make out the forms of more than just sheep and humans. You start to make out the form of wolves approaching this pair.
Like regular size wolves or
Regular
like
size
freakishly
wolves.
big? Okay.
For all physical modes, they appear to be normal wolves.
Okay.
And so they are quickly emerging from the underbrush and surrounding this pair.
Those puppy dogs don't look friendly. What should we do?
I don't know. I feel like I might be able to get up there and maybe pet them, or try and get them to maybe like enjoy some of the meat that I have, and I like reach into my pack and I pull out like just dried meat that I've had in there for probably about a month.
So it smells.
It smells real bad. No, it does not smell good.
All right, so you want to approach with the dried meat.
I will approach some of them with the dried meat. I just start like gingerly walking up to them with like this handful of dried meat just in my hands.
Okay, so like move your mans a little bit.
I think I have 30 feet. I think
Yeah,
that's
you're
what I can
30
do.
feet.
No, 40 feet. I
40,
got 40
yes.
feet. Okay, so let me curse you. There we go.
Every square is 5 feet.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay, I can get about here-ish.
Okay. So, two of the wolves see you approach and turn around, but don't immediately start to act hostile.
I just kind of crouch down and just hold out my hands, and just with this very like wide smile across my face, I kind of just shake my head a little bit and just say, "Got some food for you guys. Come here. Got some food."
And
I'm pretty sure this tastes much better than those scrawny looking sheep over there.
So the two wolves turn and like approach and like gingerly start sniffing as they approach the dried meat. And they're a little bit repulsed with how bad it smells, but at the same time they also seem interested. So one reaches to go bite the meat and take it away, and starts to eat it by himself, leaving none for his partner. And the second wolf says in a very guttural, very primal voice that is like very broken, common.
Yeah.
Need more.
Not gonna lie, was not expecting you to talk. Okay. I start like kind of scrounging in my pouch and trying to like find some, and I'm out. That was literally all the meat and dried rations I had. So I kind of yell back to the rest of the group. Does anyone have any dried meat? Any other?
Give it your legs.
What?
Your legs, they're hungry. You don't need to walk.
Kind of need those. Kind of need those for other things.
We can carry you.
Do you really need 2 arms? You're just being selfish at this point.
I'll come back there and take one of your arms if you're not using it.
Sure, get over here first.
I just look back at the wolf and I was like, so got some compatriots back there. Not gonna lie, I'm not like the most bulkiest or like well-meated individual here. I'm like, I mean, you look at this and I just kind of pull back my robes. I'm like, I'm all skin and bone, really.
I yell, tell them we'll come back with meat if they leave us, all the people alone. Let us all live. We'll bring back enough meat for the whole pack. If they understand us, maybe they'll listen. Who knows?
So the wolf without the meat turns to the first one with a very envious look that he does not have food, but then turns to the pack and like seeing how many of you there are, gets kind of daunted and like just growls, and the entire ensemble of wolves kind of just runs away. They kind of just leave the pair.
Daunted.
Did we just avoid an encounter?
Well, that was a. Huh.
We need to bring meat back. They didn't reply or anything.
I stand up and I'm just like kind of stretched and just. Not gonna lie, wasn't expecting talking wolves. That was.
Hey, listen, about that, I didn't really want you to like give them your arms or legs. I was just trying to like. Start a fight.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
I for one am curious why you flashed them.
Oh, I was just pulling up. I mean, like, I just pull up my robe and just like on the arms again, and just like you guys can now see like on the one arm there was like a tattoo of like this like scale, like the entire arm is just tattooed in like scales, and it goes all the way up to like underneath the wraps that I have.
Nice tattoos. Where'd you get them?
Oh, back at my home. Quite a nice place. You should see the sunrise as it comes up over the mountain. Just the entire land sparkles in pink.
Get these people back to the town and figure out what's going on. 'Cause
So-
these wolves talk, and That's a little bit more work than I think they're willing to pay for.
The shepherd and the shepherd's wife are kind of sitting in the underbrush, very like exhausted and obviously terrified, not knowing who you are. But gingerly approach
Can I move over
Des,
here like that?
being the prime maker of this peace between the wolves.
Oh.
And they kind of approach and be like, "Are you answering the call of Welton?"
Let's go with yes. I think that's what we're doing. Not
Something
sure.
like that.
I
yeah.
mean,
Not sure. These folks were they were at the tavern that I was at, and they were heading out, and I mean they looked fun and kind of cool, and I mean this one guy, he's just dressed all in like black awesomeness, and he's got some like really cool daggers. So I was just like, I'm gonna follow those guys and see what's happening with them. And they
I
just
guess he
kinda-
doesn't like the color pink. That's cool.
It really depends on
I mean-
the price. I mean, we don't work for free. You know what I mean? Like, it depends on what Welton can offer us.
The bounty on Wolfhead is 5 gold apiece.
Let's do it.
That sounds.
That's more
Wait.
than 3.
That's more than 3 each of us. For each of us. How many wolves are there? Do you guys know?
You guys
I
want to have
counted,
a?
I counted 7.
Are
But what
talking?
about, is there's got to be more. I'm talking to the villagers at this point.
And then the shepherd kind of gingerly says, "That's one of the raiding parties. There's at least 3 of those that we know about."
That's a lot of gold.
Are talking wolves a normaty here in this area? Because these are the first that I've ever encountered.
It started to occur several months back when our resident sorcerer arrived in Welton, but we have no way of knowing how and why they do that.
Who's this resident sorcerer that you speak of?
The resident sorcerer his name is Alexi.
Alexi?
Alexi Merrickson.
Does he live in town? Does he live a little further out of town? And like, is he normally
You assume-
approachable?
You assume
He
this,
lives
sorcerer.
with his
That's
father
true. Yeah, I am.
in town, but I have not seen him in several weeks.
When did he move to this town?
His father has been a resident of Welton for decades, but he left as a child to go study and returned a few months ago.
I think we should give this sorcerer a visit.
Yeah, let's see if he's home.
So the shepherd like points you in the direction of Welton and is saying it's about an hour's march that way.
How many sheep are currently around this area?
So I'm gonna go with about a dozen and a half sheep, kind of now just hurriedly, just like huddling together in fear.
Okay. Do they look? How did the sheep look? Are they like large sheep? Are they like kind of scrawny sheep? Like how health wise? How do they look?
Health wise, most of them are very healthy sheep. A few of them appear to have like some scrapes or bites, but nothing that would indicate like actual health problems or that it would bleed out in the near future.
Okay, and how did the villagers look as well?
The female villager appears to have a bit of a leg wound,
Damn
not
it.
from a bite, but from just tripping. She appears to be very heavily favoring her left leg.
Okay.
But the shepherd does not appear to have anything wrong with him.
Can I approach? Oh, wait. What was that? Sorry, a left leg. Was it a bite or a scratch?
Not a bite. So she's heavily favoring her left leg, but
Can
her-
I approach the sheep and see if there's any bite marks on them?
Yes. So as you approach the sheep, most of them I would say look fine, but about 2 have some pretty bloody gashes, but nothing that would prove life-threatening.
Can I detect poison and disease with my level 1 spell?
Yes. So
What do I roll for that?
let's just do a d20.
If no, I would like to actually do it with my hand. I think it's better luck. Here we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
17.
17. So, other than the normal dirtiness that comes with wolf saliva, you do not appear. There does not appear to be anything poisoning or otherwise afflicting these sheep.
So since these sheep are fine, can I approach the shepherd and kind of ask him if, hey, since we helped you out, give us a couple of these sheep and we can cut them up, because the meat was very effective versus the wolves, and it would be nice to have some meat just in case we come across any more wolves.
He appears very frustrated, but given that you just saved him, appears receptive. Roll a d20 for persuasion.
5
And then what's your persuasion?
+4.
+4, so 9. So he is frustrated, but nevertheless concedes, but only allows you 1 sheep.
Oof.
All right.
Can I talk to his lady friend? I want to ask her about her leg and how it happened, how she feels.
Of course, go ahead.
I see her favoring one leg over the other. Did the wolves do that? May I ask how that injury came about?
She replies, when the wolves showed, my husband told me to run, and as I was running through the underbrush, I tripped on a rock and have very badly hurt my leg.
Okay.
Hey, so we got the sheep. Do any of you guys know how to butcher a sheep? I'm not really good on like knives and things.
I got knives. I can cut it.
I also have knives.
Want to race?
You can. I'm not very proficient in butchering animals. Only people.
Fun.
At that comment, I
Well,
looked kind of confused. I looked at it and I'm just like kind of this weird,
what the hell's
did
going
that
on?
really just come out of his mouth type of look? But I don't really make any comment on it. I just look at him really slightly confused.
All right, I want to conjure up a couple shadow blades and cut up this sheep so we can store it in our bags.
All right, roll damage. No. Given that the sheep is generally helpless,
The sheep bars at you.
and you have the help of 2 shepherds and 6 adventurers, you flawlessly butcher the sheep.
As that's happening, and they're preoccupied with the butchering of the sheep. I turn to the shepherds and I take the man's hand in my hand and I say, this will be helpful for us, and it'll be helpful, we will do our best to see this missive through. And I kind of just leave in his hand 2 gold pieces,
All right,
as I pull my hands away.
and then just make sure that's subtracted from your.
Yep.
Yep. Cool. Awesome. Yes.
Very
and
kind of
he
you.
he says. He looks surprised, as if he was not expecting to be paid for the sheep, and says, "Thank you. This will more than cover the sheep."
I kind of take back too, and I'm just like, well, I just got us a sheep for free, and now you're gonna pay this dude? Like, just kind of giving him that like a surprise look as well. Like, come on, man.
I was trying to be stealthy about that, so I was trying to do it as they're not.
Roll
they
a
don't-
sleight of hand. Roll a sleight of hand.
Okay, sleight of hand.
Versus a perception check?
I thought it was
Yeah,
just
versus
stealth,
perception.
or-
So
Uh,
Derek, roll perception.
That'd be
Sleight of
stealth
hand.
check because he's stealth against us.
No, yeah, sleight of hand sounds right. It's a 14.
It's okay. 14, and then perception roll is
11.
11. So, Dramaz, in his bloodlust for the sheep, notices Dez are conversing with the shepherd, but that is all.
All right. And then let's pack up this sheep. Each of us take a little bit of its meat, and then let's continue walking over to Welton. Yeah, guys.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Hello.
So the shepherds ask if they can accompany you the rest of the way to town.
Yeah, come on.
I say if you can keep up and start running.
I ask the female if she can walk.
She stands and puts a hand on her husband's shoulder, but appears to be able to, at the very least, hobble along.
I cast healing hands on her leg.
Nice. I wasn't gonna waste my.
Who was the one that ran off?
Oh, that was me, but I came back because I saw that she was struggling.
You just ran off and then turned around and ran back.
I ran off
See,
and
I'm a
immediately
good
felt bad.
influence on you, Sonnen.
I ran off and immediately
told
felt
you.
bad.
Oh
So,
man, that's
we
like
The
cast-
nicer you are to people, the more they share their
I cast
wine.
healing hands.
Okay, what's the roll for healing hands?
I think it's for me. It's my Constitution modifier, and if I pass, then I just heal equivalent to my level, which is 3.
Okay, so just go ahead and yeah. So
16 plus 1, 17.
okay, so you cast the spell on her leg, and she kind of like jolts, like a bit of energy just like came into her, and she like puts weight on the leg, and she can now stand on it. And she's-
Huzzah!
And so the shepherd starts herding the remainder of his flock and leading you in the direction of town.
I take my quarterstaff off of my back, and I kind of just like help him, like kind of stay towards the back of the flock, and kind of help him just kind of herd the sheep as needed. If any of them kind of start going off to the side, I just kind of scoot them back with my quarterstaff. And
Awesome.
All right.
So as you approach Welton, the shepherd, whose name is Vlad. The shepherd, whose name is Vlad, starts dictating to you a little bit about the city of Welton, just as like a nervous conversation almost.
And as we're walking, I ask for his name, and I also ask for.
So the shepherd gives his name as Vlad, and his wife gives her name as Coral.
Coral.
I was gonna say Carol.
Carl?
As Coral. And they begin to just like speak about like Welton and their people, talking about how it's a primarily human town, but there is a fair bit of halflings, 1 dwarf, and 3 tieflings that reside in the town. That's primarily a shepherding and farming village, pretty far away from any of the rest of the imperial towns.
I asked them about the race of the warlock, the resident warlock that came back a few months ago.
The Alexi is a human.
Okay, is it a girl or a man or a woman?
Alexi is a male.
Okay. I want to be able to just maybe,
In-
hopefully, at least have an idea.
Is there-
just in case?
Is there?
Awesome.
Are they? Is he fairly noticeable? Does he wear a lot of
Alexi is
any distinguishing marks on him that'll make it easier to find him? Or
Scars, maybe?
Alexi is a
Awesome
very,
colored
very
hair,
tall, very lengthy
jewelry.
human boy. I had not seen him much since he came back from his studies, but the last I saw, he had a small tattoo on his left forearm of a tome that's kind of surging with an energy.
Where did he study at?
Alexi studied under one of the Imperial mages who had traveled through Welton and kind of picked him up and taken him as a ward, and he has been moving ever since. And he came back about 5 months ago and acted as
5 months.
protector as the wolves began their raids.
Interesting.
All right. Well, I think if we're going to be looking for this Alexi fellow, we should be splitting up, trying to check people's forearms, unwrapping their wraps that are around their hands and trying to figure out who's who.
I guess a little bit. It's not you, is it? Jokingly.
And
I just kind of like hold out my hands and say, "You're more than willing to look."
I look at you and I
I'm
say, I'm pretty
curious-
sure
I'm
he's
cu-
not human. I would know him.
I'm curious what's under his forearms now. I would like to look before I offer to start looking at the nearest tavern for this Alexi dude.
so Vlad says, I would start with the shepherd's crook.
Oh, cool.
The shepherd's crook.
Oh,
is
so you
the...
you unwrap the wraps.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you unwrap them, you see that like the scales go up all the way up the forearm and all the way up to the wrist, and then once it gets to the wrist, you see the tattoo of what looks like a serpent, like a very large serpent's head, that's tattooed onto the actual upper portion of the hand. The jaw is wide open, and there are a lot of like multitude of fangs just bared from it, and spines kind of go back down the back of its head, all the way up the forearm.
Ooh, cool but creepy. I let Rat try to wrap him. I try to wrap him back up, but fail.
Yeah. You see it, and you notice that it's on both hands. The head seems to match the one that's currently tattooed over the eye, that then disappears underneath his robes.
I would like to travel to the tavern.
Vlad tells you that the shepherd's crook is where he would start, as he and his wife were actually traveling for the express purpose of attending the council meeting that night.
Shepherd's crook?
Yes.
Then let's go to the council meeting, guys. Do you think we have enough votes to overthrow the HOA?
What's
if
the
y'all,
What's the HOA?
What time is it? Where is it? Is it closing to the council meeting, or is it early day?
So the council meeting is supposed to take place around twilight, and I would say you are about, we're gonna say mid-afternoon.
Vlad, is Alexi's parents, are they alive? I know you said that they lived in the village. His father, is he still around?
His father is alive. His mother has since passed. His father is actually the resident priest of the village.
His mother's the resident priest?
Father, resident priest.
Father, gotcha.
Father, resident priest.
All right. Well, then let's head to the shepherd's crook.
Wait, is that where the town meeting is?
That's where the town's meeting is at.
Is it a
yes.
tavern?
That's a tavern, yes.
Okay, maybe.
I'm
I
gonna-
turn to the shepherds and ask them if they know where the sorcerer's. Do you know where the sorcerer's father lives?
Father Merrickson lives at a house pretty near the shepherd's crook in town. He would also likely be at the council meeting.
Well, let's go that way.
I ask if there's like a temple nearby, or a place where I could like potentially go and as I'm kind of like walking in that, like in the direction, I like look around and I see if I see like any like beggars or poor people around.
So there is a okay, sorry, had to fix that. There is a small chapel that Father Merrickson runs that occasionally will have a few of the beggars in town in and around that area. Father Merrickson feeds them once a day.
Okay. So I kind of start making my way in that direction then.
Awesome. So, and at this point we're splitting. We have one for the chapel and one for Shepherd's Crook.
I'm going to shepherd's crook, yeah.
Okay.
I'll go to Shepherd's Crook as well.
Okay.
Right.
So
Anybody else want to go drinking?
Yes, I would. Yes, because I usually pray to my god at night under the moonlight. So unless I need help, I usually don't go to, or just want to talk. Yeah, I don't, or I want to talk to other religious folk. I usually.
If you order me the most extravagant drink you can, I'll be there in a minute.
Oh, show.
I want
thirst
an
is
apple
great.
teeny and the girliest drink that you have. So 2 apple teenies.
So, as the group approaches the Shepherd's Crook, you can see that the council meeting has not started, but several of the townspeople are making their way that way for perhaps their evening meal. Several halflings, dozens of humans, and a pair of dwarves are the general attendants of the Shepherd's Crook. It's a pretty average tavern with wooden floors to protect against the dirt, a few, like, dozen or so tables, a large hearth on one side, and a small bar on the opposite.
I approached the bar to talk to the barmaid or Mister.
One of the dwarves looks at you, the male dwarf, and introduces himself as Brenna, and announces that he is the proprietor of this tavern, and inquires what you would like to know.
Well, hello there, sir. Well, if we could start off with some drinks, we actually have some questions about the wolves of Welton.
He smiles with the new business and says, "Of course," and then goes kind of behind the bar. He's a little too short for you to quite see what he's doing behind the bar, but then comes back with 5 mugs full and sets them on the counter. And then,
Could we get a 6th by chance? Our friend is at the chapel. I'm sorry to bother you, friend. We'll tip you dearly.
And he says, "Of course," and he like kind of ducks under the counter again. He's a little too short. Pops back up with 1 more mug, sets it on the counter.
Huzzah! I take a big swig and keep gulping.
I take a sip and then start coughing, but then power through it and keep drinking.
Huh. Oh, can I roll a perception check on him? That was weird.
you may of course roll a perception check.
What is
on
Uncertain.
Answer.
I'm sitting right next to it at the bar.
You may roll.
Can I roll?
a
Can I roll a sleight of hand?
You may roll
against
a sleight
it?
of hand.
Oh shit, what's my perception check?
So your perception is your wisdom plus whatever you roll.
For a d20?
Yeah.
On a d... Okay.
Alright.
Wisdom.
On a
sorry,
d20.
so perception is +6 on a d20.
Yep.
And what is it? I can't see. I can't see. Oh, I have to roll it again. It was sideways on that 10.
So
It was either a 15 or a 7. But it was... I couldn't tell. Hold on. Oh, fuck. I got a 3.
all right. Well, you have to beat
So I got
10.
a 9. I did not get it.
Yes!
I got 9. Fuck.
So,
I had 10. Oh, I had 10.
Damn
I got
it.
10 because I had proficiency. Oh man.
You kind of look at Cernan.
I make a comment about him not being able to hold his liquor.
And I say no, I'm fine. I'm great at parties.
And so
We'll just see. We'll just see.
you are. He kind of just like looks at him with this perturbed face, but nothing else. Notice nothing else.
So what's up? I elbow Nasreen in the side real quick, obviously forgetting about our purpose. What do you think about this tavern? The ale's nice and sweet.
Oh, that's me. It's all right. I'm not much on the drinking type. You can have mine if you'd like.
I grab it and thank him, knowing that I'm gonna pay for both.
I keep sipping and watching and just trying not to cough.
Okay,
Oh.
I turn.
You give one of the bar patrons a dirty look.
And so as you're doing this, the meeting appears to be like almost in full force. It appears that almost everyone in Welton, halflings, tieflings, humans, have all come, except there appears to be no man that you would identify as a priest there. And so, pause you, Dez.
Yes. So I as like I'm kind of walking in that direction, I try to acquire directions to the temple and kind of where it's located within the actual city or within the town itself.
So you find that the chapel is about 2 streets over from the tavern.
Okay.
Not very far. Easy few minutes walking distance.
Okay. Is it like what type of tap or what does it look like and kind of what is it mostly?
So it appears to be a chapel to no particular god from the exterior.
Okay.
Just a simple building with a few religious symbols of different gods and goddesses out front. And
Do I
an
notice any of the gods or what they are?
You notice.
Should he make a religion check for that?
Yes, actually.
This might be bad. This might be real bad. That's gonna be bad.
What is that? Is that wisdom or intelligence?
It's I think it's intelligence. It's gonna be bad. That's a 5.
You notice there
That's a-
are signs.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Sorry, that's a 4 because I have a -1.
You don't notice the
You
signs.
almost notice that there are signs out front of the chapel, but
I almost noticed their signs.
cannot quite discern to which god or goddess that they are referring to.
I just gotta like stand there, just look at them, and be like, "All right then, this looks like a temple. There's signs, symbols, things around here. All right, let's walk in." And I walk in and just kind of very flamboyantly like just shove open both doors as hard as I can.
Two forms are in the chapel: a large man in a black clergy robe, and what appears to be one of the beggars in town getting their evening meal.
Okay. I kind of just I walk in and I kind of just glance around and I look at the beggar and I say to them, I say, "Oh, you look down on your luck, good sir. Or you look down on your luck. Is there? How can I help? How can I serve? How can I help you? You know, be more fruitful and be more prosperous in pursuing things in your life that you want."
So he looks at you with a surprise almost, and then introduces himself as Leonor.
Leonor, what a wonderful name! I've heard that. I had a friend named Leonor back at my home. It was the times that we used to have. Leonor, how can I help you today?
Kind of gives you like a hearted smile now that he feels warm, and says, "I have fallen on a great misfortune recently. The wolves have stolen my entire flock, so I no longer have any sheep to trade."
Oh no, we ran into some local shepherds as well. Vlad and Carol on our way here. Myself and my compatriots came to help as much as we could. How much would it cost to get you a working flock and get you back on your feet?
I lost near 30 sheep, so that would be dozens of gold worth of sheep with the wolves around. But if the wolves were to leave, perhaps it would be easier to rebuild my flock.
Well, I can't give you that much, but I could possibly help you. Hopefully, give you at least enough to buy maybe 2 sheep, maybe enough to like start pursuing things, start up another flock. And so I give him 4 gold, and hope that that's enough to buy
4 gold. He accepts the 4 and says, "This is more than enough to start my flock. Not nearly as much as I had, but I thank you nonetheless. It will feed me and my family for weeks."
Well, that's the best that I can do, and that's the best I can help. And I just give it like a very ostentatious like bow, kind of like flaring out one of my robes and kind of bringing it down like in front of me.
Right.
And I stand back up and look down at like the meal that he's giving, and then I look up at the other individual and say, "I'm so sorry, I didn't quite catch who you are. My name is Des. It's wonderful to meet you, and I'm just here to help as much as I can. Who are you?"
And so as you introduce yourself, the Leonor kind of takes his leave slowly, like excitedly, now that he has money, leaves the room. And the priest introduces himself. "My name is Father Merrickson. I am the clergyman for the town of Welton." That was a nice gesture you made there. That man was coming to me for weeks now.
Oh, well, I always hate seeing others down on the luck and hate having the opportunity. I always try to take the opportunities when I can to give some stuff and give back to them, because people need to have the legs and have the foundation under them to be able to succeed as best they can.
And so he offers his hand for you to shake.
I grasp it firmly and like almost like a Beastmaster grasp.
So he like winces slightly, but otherwise just gives a firm handshake back and and continues. "I was about to leave to head to the council meeting," and he seems excited but also rather erratic as he's speaking, like he's in a hurry to leave.
I was like, I was like, well, if you're, my compatriots, I think, are already over in that area. We could go walk there together, maybe kind of swap and hear about the news of what's happening here on in this town. I mean, I've heard you guys have had some hard problems with the wolves recently, but just any other news that you have, when this all happened, when this started, and
Yes.
anything,
So he
anything
says,
strange that you've been noticing going around the town?
Yes, he says, and he like hurriedly like walks outside and he's like ready to go.
I follow him.
He begins to. Okay, so he locks the chapel behind him and kind of takes a key out of his pocket and locks it, and then begins to speak.
Can I notice where he puts the key after he finishes locking it up?
Roll, that would be perception.
Yep. 13.
You do notice that he has a small pouch under his robe on his right side. That is what appears to be where he acquired his key.
Okay.
And so, as he's walking, he's telling you, yes, the wolves have been plaguing us for many months. They have taken many people's flocks, and Welton is suffering. The traders no longer want to come. We don't have enough sheep for food or for trade. And ever since my son got home, this seems to be the problem.
Who's your son? What's been ailing him, or why do you think that the two events are concerned or together, or?
And then he looks like, again, still like confused at the concern, but just keeps talking. My son is returned from learning. He was training under a mage as a ward, and so when he got home, the wolves began to plague us more and more, and I have not seen him for several weeks.
You've not seen your son for several weeks?
Yes. He went out into the woods several weeks ago to try and repel the wolves, and has not returned.
Oh well, that's horrible. Is it to the north, to the west, to the east? Where toward in the woods did he head to?
The wolves, we know that their lair lies to the east, deep in the woods, past several of the past two of the small hunters' paths that lead deeper into the mountains.
Well, that's very disconcerting. If you haven't seen your son, I'm sure he's all right. If he is half the mage that you've claimed him to be, then I'm sure that he'll be fine.
He kind of like laughs a little bit, and then just like kind of like a half-hearted laugh, not really believing. And
you don't believe your son's that good of a mage?
He kind of looks at you and like confused at what to say, and then says, "I have no doubt in my son's capabilities." And then is kind of quiet after that.
Can I make a insight check? Just kind of see how,
Yes.
like, whether or not he's being truthful, or like what, does he seem like he's holding anything back about his son?
Sure. I'll need to roll something as well, but yes.
Not bad. This is insight. That's gonna be 20 total.
20 total?
20 total, yeah.
Okay.
Natural 18 plus 2.
Okay. So you know he's lying. You know that there is not necessarily lying, but that there is a lot that he is withholding from you. But given the short amount of time that you had to talk, you are fast approaching the tavern.
I'd assume we were close to the tavern at this
Yes.
point anyway. So I kind of just note that, and
Yes.
as we get close to the tavern, I race forward and like open up the door, like kind of pull open the door for him, and kind of just try, like kind of slowly usher him in, and as I do, or as we enter, I try to pickpocket the key.
Okay, so let's roll for it.
13.
Let's see. So you reach for the pouch. I'm assuming as you were trying to get the key.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So we reach for the pouch, and you kind of slip a little bit as he's walking through the door. But
Yep.
given the roar of applause that happened as the clergyman entered, it appears he did not notice, and you, instead of making out with just the key, now have the pouch.
Ooh, okay, cool. So I kind of like slowly, I just kind of like stealthily, whoop, like just flick that into my robes and just kind of close the door behind me and make my way over to my compatriots as I look around them, as I look for them.
All right, and now
Pick
unpause
up the drink
else.
that they have there.
So we are unpaused. Everyone is
Des
live.
made it. Hey, we bought you a beer.
How's it going, Des?
It's going quite well, and I start sharing some of the information that I came with them, saying had a lovely
gentleman's name again. I'm sorry.
had a lovely conversation with Father Merrickson. Father Merrickson, very interesting individual. His son, that mage guy that Vlad was telling us about, apparently he's been missing for a few weeks, and he went out. He actually went out recently and went into the woods to try and deal with the wolves recently. To the east is where the lair's at. Past two of the hunters' lodgings out that way. Get the feeling that we might be heading that direction soon. But he doesn't seem to have much faith in his abilities, or doesn't think like super highly of him being a mage, I would guess.
I say that we head out to the east and see if we can offer some form of assistance.
Well, let's
we see what the
let's
council meeting is all about?
Sure. Let's hang out.
So,
We're already here.
I haven't finished my drink yet.
as
I'm hoping this has been like 2 hours at least that has
No.
passed by, and I still have like alcohol in my
I
cup.
would say that we still have between the time that Des left and Des returned would be about half hour to an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I still like my cup is mostly full.
You have taken 5 sips.
Yes.
Can I like check his? Ask him if he's okay.
So
Of
you're
course.
gonna do hidden. When you do something like that, okay, so you can do different things. Insight, like if you roll an insight check, would be to see if you're telling if someone's lying or something, or how they actually, if you actually can tell what their emotions are. If you do a perception check, it's like you're trying to see if you're missing something, like a writing on the wall, or if someone's not really eating food, or and then different checks like that. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a 20-sided dice and you're gonna roll it, and you'll check it with your plus perception.
Would I do
Otherwise,
perception
someone
or
else take over.
investigation?
You're gonna do
It depends on exactly what you want.
I think you want an insight check for this, and then I'd roll a
Okay.
deception against it.
Okay.
That sounds good.
I look at the beer that they got me, and I kind of just look at it like kind of slightly disheartened, and I place it on the table and I slowly over towards Dreyer, and I walk over to the bar and ask for the most ostentatious drink that they have.
Hiddnen, what did you roll for your insight check?
I'm trying to figure out how I use this roller. I clicked on the dice, and now it's asking me roll 1d20 and do I do
roll
roll?
1d20.
Yes, 1d20, 20-sided dice.
All right. Well, I got a 21, so
So that would be what, 3 plus my perspective?
that would be 3 plus
Perception?
your, which would be
Plus
wisdom.
3. Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless he has perception.
I've
as
got
a-
perception plus 3.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
so I have a
you,
6.
So
So I fail.
That doesn't beat 21.
you notice that he has sipped his beer.
Math. Okay. Oh well.
Oh well. He takes a sip of his own. Is the council meeting starting? I heard
So
applause.
as Father Merrickson enters, it appears that he was the last member that they were waiting for, and so about 10 to 12 prominent figures appear to be moving towards the middle and setting up a table. And as they take their seats, the rest of the tavern seems to calm down in their volume. One person in particular stands up from his chair. It is a halfling, rather large halfling. Stands up from his chair and
Like large or like large?
like large.
Like tall.
Okay,
Okay.
that didn't answer the. Okay, there we go.
like
So like large or large? Large. Okay.
so
Like rotund or like tall and lanky?
rather rotund.
Got it.
halfling kind of stands
Like spherical.
and
Like if I kick him, I can roll him out the door. Got it.
looks like he is beginning to speak and says like, "My friends," and then sees the 6 of you at the bar, and then kind of like cocks his head a little bit, and instead refers or addresses you, and says, "We've not had visitors in these parts in weeks. What brings you to our council meet?"
And I kind of step up and I say, thank you for having us. We are here to answer the call of Welton. We actually slain 7 wolves outside of your village to save 2 of your townsfolk.
And then there's a general murmur of appreciation from everyone as they kind of look around, like excited that finally something might get done.
I whisper. Wait. I whisper to Nasreen. Is like, did he just lie to them?
I want to like get in on this and be like, I think he was just lied to them. Should we call him out?
I walk up right I walk up right beside him and say, "You have to thank Nesru, the many-headed." That's all I say. And I just extend my arms just like super wide and like excitedly with a giant smile across my face.
I sulk to the back and pull up the collar on my trench coat and try to hide my face.
Yeah, you all are whispering, and I'm just kind of like, shut up.
The shepherd that you found
It
on
doesn't
the road,
help that it's bright pink and I'm hiding in the corner.
the shepherd that you found on the road like looks at you and then thinks about it for a moment, and then instead of saying anything just turns away.
Yeah, I want to get like I knew he would speak up, so I was ready to give him like a very like, try to intimidate him. You know what I mean? Like,
God,
I'm
thank
pretty
God
sure we killed them.
Dez gave
Like,
him some gold.
And so this man he says, "Well, my name is Tilius."
great to
And-
meet you.
Yes.
And I represent the council that will decide the fate of Welton. And
the fate of Welton.
the fate of Welton. Several of us had considered abandoning the village and moving to one of the other villages
I gasped, shocked.
away from these wolves that have been plaguing us for weeks. But go ahead.
I pipe up. Are y'all aware these wolves talk? With
Several
words?
of the townspeople look at each other, just like almost nervous, and just say, "Yes, we've noticed, and we do not know why."
Do they all talk?
Tilius says, "We have recorded at least half of them being able to, but are unsure about all of them."
You have records of the wolves speaking? Do you have those available?
Not
Yeah,
written.
I'm sure.
It is the shepherds coming and telling us that they have seen different wolves.
I mock Nasreen. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure they wrote, they have transcripts of every conversation.
I'm sure they sat down to the wolves and said, "Can you say that again, but slower?"
He said records. He said records.
How have these wolves plagued your village? I know they are killing your sheep. I know. Is there any injured townsfolk? Has anyone had any kind of encounter with these wolves?
Has
We've had,
anyone been bitten?
We've had several of us get bit or scratched, but only one has gone missing, and that is Alexi.
May I inspect one of the townspeople that has been bitten? I wonder if there is anything. There's a disease that is causing these wolves or evil. Maybe I could find out if it was spread.
Hey, can you detect Arcana?
Me?
Yeah, can you detect magic?
One
Are we
second.
asking this?
In character, yeah. I'm like
Okay.
whispering, like, "Hey, do you know how to detect magic?"
Oh, I can do that.
You
can do that.
good. I can detect truth, but not magic, and I can detect poison and disease.
Can you check one of these bites and see if there's any magic left over from the wolves?
And so
Certainly.
Tilius motions with his hands, like, "I come here," and a woman emerges from the audience and steps forth, and she has on her arm a rather large bite that looks to be about a week, maybe a little bit more old.
So should I
Alright.
roll for the Arcana check and see if I can pull anything?
Yes.
Natural 20 plus 3. So
Done.
Let's go! Hey, that's our
So-
first natural 20, guys. Yeah.
We
did it.
You
Need an
notice
alert for that.
in the bite, you kind of like do your detect, and there's a slight flash of light in the bite, but it is not a hostile magic. There's kind of just this like residual aura about it, like not that it was a spell cast, but it was something magic was near the bite at the time of its occurrence.
And are there any other people that have bites? Do they have that similar magic aura?
The Tilius kind of like looks out into the audience, and like motions 2 more people over, but when you do the same thing, the magic does not appear, but their bites were much older.
So why did Alexei decide to go into the forest and woods all by himself?
And then at this point, Father Merrickson kind of butts himself into the conversation, saying, my son went to go repel the wolves and did not come back.
Seems a bit foolish to go do that all by himself. I mean, he could have taken at least a few of you with him to make sure that he was safe and ensure that he would come back or that he and the rest of them would come back all at the same time.
And this is Father Merrickson again speaking. He was so sure that he could do it by himself after years training under a mage that we thought it best that he do go by himself.
You thought it best? But did he ask for help?
He did not. He came to us during a council meet and told us of his plan after several flocks had gone missing, and we agreed that it best if someone trained in magic could perhaps go and try to repel these, as we are very obviously not warrior type here.
But even, I mean, just a few of you with pitchforks or something would at least ensure a little bit more of his protection, at the very least.
And don't you think that he has been gone for so long that it is your town to protect too?
And then like the villagers kind of like look at each other like with this murmur of like disapproval, but then a couple of them like look down in shame almost. And at this point, Brenna like speaks up and says, "We tried that, and when we went to the wolves, we were ambushed by a greater beast that scared us back to our homes."
A greater beast.
Only one actually saw the beast. The rest of us simply heard it kill 3 of our hunting dogs.
And who saw this beast?
And then you see in the corner Vlad raises his hand.
Vlad, you're just always in the worst place, huh? Is that kind of...
Vlad, can we talk for a second?
It's a shepherd friend.
And so he like kind of walks forward and just sheepishly like nods.
What was this creature that you saw, Vlad? Can you describe it?
It was a large beast, easily 2-3 times the size of myself. Looked almost like a possessed bear, and it was near one of the hunting lodges.
The first one or the second one?
It was near the second one.
Yeah, the second one. Okay.
A bugbear?
Is that in the east?
They have?
Yes, to the east.
That sound like
can
a
I roll an
bugbear to
insight
you?
check just to double check? I just want to see if he's hiding anything. Or
Yeah,
anything.
sure, go ahead.
2. Yeah, I suck. 2 plus 6, so I have an 8.
You do not appear to see that he is lying in any capacity.
Vlad, do you think you can lead us to where you encountered this beast?
When, may I ask when this was? I know we've been having these problems for months.
He
5
looks
months.
kind of pale, and so he says, Yes. So when Alexei left 5 weeks ago, we went after him after several days, assuming that he was fine by himself. So that must have been about 3 weeks ago. And so, in reference to the other question, he kind of pales and says, "I could lead you if you needed."
Yeah, and I kind of give him the same look when he was about to speak up about my lie, and I'm kind of like, yes, we would really like you to take us to where you encountered this beast.
I'd kind of nudge him a little bit and be like, didn't you say something about, like, and like under my breath I say, don't forget the prize.
I reassure him that we will protect him. We will protect you.
And I also speak up to kind of the whole council, and I say, you know, town of Welton, we will take on this burden for you, but we cannot do this for nothing. We need some sort of compensation for our service to you.
And Tilius stands and says, yes, the bounty per wolf head is 5 gold apiece. But if you could, if you also bring us the head of whatever the large beast is as well, I would happily give you an extra 50 gold.
Why didn't we chop off all the other heads of those 7 wolves? That was an error in our ways.
We did not. The wolves ran away.
And I say, Tilius, we've already killed 1 score of wolves. We will walk away if you do not meet us at 7 gold per head.
And he kind of like looks frustrated, but like understands and just kind of like nods and says, "Yes, I would give you 7."
Can I secretly high five somebody, or?
You can meta high five somebody. Yeah, that's fine.
I'll high five him.
I'm standing right next to him, so it's like this awkward 3-person high five all of a sudden.
Is it this way? Wait. I'll high five straight down.
I gotta go up. 1, 2, 3.
Close enough. We'll call it. We'll call it there.
We each still have like meat from the lamb, right? The sheep.
Yes, we do have
And
meat from the slaughtered sheep.
Do we need to like eat or anything before we head out?
It's up to you.
I kind of hold on to that, and I just I take the drink that I was given, and I just kind of like lean back against the bar and just listen to the rest of the most of the rest of the meeting.
You said it's like twilight, right?
Inside this tavern?
Yes, so it is around evening time right now.
Okay, can I even like the moon's out?
The moon is just now starting to show.
All right, I'm gonna go like basically. Is there some area, just a nice little, not super secluded, but nice enough just outside for me to go like meditate and prayer under the moonlight, just make sure everything, keep my magic and my god happy before we leave?
Are you asking a village person this? Are you asking me this? Are you walking outside?
I'll go to the door for the tavern, my new friend. Is
So-
there a nice place in the moonlight I can go to pray to saloon?
And
friend?
then he says, outside the tavern, about 1 street over, is the edge of town, and there's a nice open plain there that has plenty of space for your needs.
Thank you. So I go over to my group of friends and, hey everybody, before we head out, I'm going to pray to Saloon to make sure that she blesses us with the moonlight on our journey. Well, shall we leave tonight or stay at the inn?
I would like to leave at first thing sunrise tomorrow. I think that would be the best. I wouldn't want to encounter wolves when the moon is out.
I can go now.
Suit
I'll go
yourself.
now.
I enjoy.
I can go whenever.
And protect them.
I stretch and just. I don't know. Bed sounds really nice after being on the road for all day. Be a good place to just kind of relax and find some nice, relaxing evening activities to do.
Well, I guess it's a 50-50 here. What about you, Lucario? What do you think? Did I say that name right? Lucario? Lunaria.
Lunaria.
I prefer to hunt by the moonlight, but I could also sleep.
50-50 it is. Well, I'll let you guys decide. I walk off and walk to the street to do all my. Oh wait. I would like to go to the bar and order. Never mind. I'm just gonna go to the other street. And, yeah.
Brenna kind of like stops you as you turn to leave and says, the beers.
the beers. Yes. How much, sir?
So that'll be 2 copper per beer. 2 copper.
I go ahead and pay for everybody's. That will deduct it.
I'd like to take the other half of my beer that I haven't drank yet at this point and dump it into a nearby plant.
I also tip him a total of 6 copper. Yeah, I did a lot. And then can I roll a perception, or was it perception check to see if I see what he does?
Yeah, it's perception versus my sleight of hand.
All right, 20. And I have +6 on perception.
Yes.
Ooh, I got 18.
Okay.
So 24. 24.
Ooh, I got. Let me do the math here. I got 11. Damn
Alright,
it.
Cernan, DM me what you're doing, and I will figure out what is seen.
How much? Okay, let's see. I need copper to silver to gold ratio.
It is. Let us see.
I think I'll find it. I found it. Exchange rate. I found it.
Okay, awesome.
I'll post it in the Discord.
I would like to find a secluded area of the bar or of the tavern that's where kind of where I just kind of just go sit and just kind of enjoy my drink. And while I'm doing that, I want to kind of just shift through the pouch that I grabbed.
Yes.
And see what else is in there besides the key.
So, as for the perception check, you notice that Cernan has been systematically pouring his ale into a nearby plant instead of drinking it.
I walk up over to him with a glare and say, "So what's wrong with the ale?"
Nothing's
staring at him
wrong.
into
I'm doing fine. Everything's all right here. How are you?
I don't believe you.
Can I bluff at this
At him
point?
intently,
Yeah.
just getting closer and closer,
I
awkwardly.
I roll bluff.
This would be
Deception.
What would this be? This would be deception. Yeah.
Yeah.
Deception. Yeah, you're right,
Do
because
I
it's
roll
not 3.
something?
Did you get a 3?
Roll. No, I said because this isn't version 3. Version 3, it's bluff.
Yeah.
5e, it's deception. Which is +2, +3. That's a 20 on deception.
Do I roll something? Because I just rolled a 20 and I got a 1.
Insight.
So you got a 1, and he got a.
So you critically
What am I
failed,
trying?
and I got a 20 plus.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you kind
Bluff.
of because you had drank not only your ale, but another's as well. You kind of just stumble towards him, and just be like, "Never mind," and then just kind of go walk back out towards the clearing that you're going towards.
And then I'm off.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
I mean-
And
See
as
ya,
for
Larry.
I
the,
love praying drunk under the moonlight. Just
as for the
mumble.
sifting through the pouch, you do sift through the pouch. You see not only the key that you found, or that you saw him place in the pouch before, but several scraps of paper with
Okay.
hastily written notes on them.
What did the notes say?
You speak common, right?
Yeah.
Red DMs, by the way.
Nope. I've just been speaking infernal this entire time.
I'm just making sure. No.
This whole
So you
world.
see that one of the pieces of paper, or 3 of the pieces of paper have just short phrases on them, like "get more," "look there," just very hastily written. And
Get more. Look there.
look there, and then but one note in particular is written very, very clearly, not as fast as the others, that just says Alexi on it.
One just says just Alexi.
Just Alexi. Nothing else on the paper.
So can I like find this secluded corner where he is and come over and ask what's he got there?
You can walk over to him. What happens then is...
Can I make a perception check to see if I see him walking over?
Yes, of course, yeah.
Boy, that's gonna be a 11 total.
Okay.
So do I need to roll something?
So you do... Yeah, no, that's fine. You do notice him start to walk.
Okay. All right. As I see him walking over, I kind of just take a sip and I just put the pouch back in my robes and just pull the key itself out and just kind of start flicking it up in the air and catching it and flicking it up in the air and catching it. And then just slowly drink and just kind of watch the rest of the world going around.
So you show him like the key?
Yeah, I mean, like he walks up to me, he'll just see like just me flicking the key up and catching and up and
Awesome.
catching.
Okay.
As he gets over to me, I say, "Strange town, this. Haven't quite figured out what to make of it. What do you think of it so far?"
Well, someone went missing three weeks ago, and they have talking wolves, and this is the first we've heard of both.
You haven't run into any talking wolves in your travels, have you?
No, never.
No, it's first time for me as well. I've heard stories. We had a large pack of Lythercamp back in my home area in the forest that surrounds my home. Then they were something else to have to deal with. But those were some of the higher ups at my village. They were able to take care of them pretty well.
And so as you two are conversing, the meeting is kind of adjourned, and they look at you, and most of the villagers look at you and nod with thanks as they depart for their homes for the night. Several stay in the tavern, wanting to stay and drink more. You notice in particular Father Morkson on his way out kind of like instinctively like put his hand on his hip and just like feel for a second and just kind of look down and then worriedly run out the door.
I make note of it and just let him do that.
I DM'd you my next action.
I see.
All right, cool. So I leave the bar.
Yes, Cernan leaves
Cernan.
the bar.
I'm just sitting over here like this. Put some candles going.
And so we have
Nice.
we have our elf outside praying, slurring words. Cernan
Moon
has...
Goddess likes pleasant drunk.
I'm just in like the nearest dark alley.
He's just in an alley, like in between the tavern and a very, very like...
Is he near me?
No, he's not near you. He's not near you. And then... Where to?
Well, I'm gonna stay outside.
Are there any
for
other-
An hour to pray? An hour?
An hour, yeah. And so, Brenna kind of looks at you and says, have you decided if you're going tonight, or would you like a place to stay? I can give you a few rooms for free for the night for helping us with our problems.
Well, I'm never one to turn down a free room. I'll take one, and might there be some additional company that could accompany me up to my room by chance for this evening, or is that a different place and different establishment?
And Brenna looks at you and kind of scowls and just says, if only we had the money for such comforts. And then kind of like side eyes his wife.
I love it.
I kind of let out this boisterous laugh and say, "Oh, fair enough." And I just kind of walk over and take one of the keys and just walk, like begin kind of like go back to the other corner, but making sure I have like a place to sleep for the evening.
Awesome.
I want to tell the group that based on Grayer's conditions currently that we might want to wait until the morning. Probably not too safe to go during the moonlight this evening.
So are you going outside to tell our two friends outside, or are you telling the inside?
I'm telling the ones inside, and I'll go outside to tell the ones outside.
All right. So we tell
First. Which one
Lunaria
first?
and Dramaz inside. Dramaz inside, and you walk outside, and you see Narsen, or sorry, you see Cernan, kind of huddling in an alley, just kind of like looking up and just praying, in a language that you don't understand.
I fucking know it's
Are we sure that I don't understand it?
What languages do you know?
Look.
You know nothing right now.
No, he doesn't know anything about his character. It's cute though. Alright, Hiddnen, I want to help you next time.
Hold on.
Hello there.
Trying to find where my languages are. Ground. Nope. Abilities. Subrace. Nope.
It should be under other proficiencies and languages.
Proficiencies. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I know Undercommon, Elvish, and then Common.
You do not understand this language.
Okay.
Damn it.
Yeah, I was like 99% sure I'm the only one in this group who speaks this language.
Yes, you do not understand this language. But he does look up as you approach.
Can I investigate?
Sure.
Like, what are you doing there?
You know, I
roll for investigate or something.
Let's do roll for investigate. That sounds fun.
Okay.
All right.
So D20 again.
Yes.
Yep.
I
Oh.
got it.
Oh.
I think I got it.
Oh, baby.
Oh.
All right. What do we got?
No.
Narsen.
I got a
what's the roll?
20.
Okay. Natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not 20.
And
Not 20.
and investigation, I got +4 as well.
All right.
Say that one more time.
You got a natural 20.
Okay.
Yeah,
You got a
natural
natural
20.
That's all that matters.
Cernan, you just not even close. Okay. So.
Well, I can roll against it, but I got a 3, so like, come on.
So you recognize that this is a language that you hear a lot in and around priests and clerics. More notably, you recognize the language as Celestial, but you cannot discern any of the words.
I would like to point out I do know Celestial, so if I hear it later.
Okay.
Okay, but you'll have to be there.
I know, just saying.
Yeah, got
just
you.
because
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
just like, everybody knows.
All right, so Cernan, I don't understand the words coming out of your mouth, but it appears that you're praying. What are you praying about?
It's not so
You're
much a
playing a
prayer as a reckoning for the wrongs that I've done. I've made mistakes in my past, and I need to atone for those sins.
Understandable. Well, based on the current condition of gray air, I don't think we're going to go out tonight to go hunting for wolves. We've been offered a free place to stay for the night if you need sleep.
I do
Has it been an
require
hour yet?
rest.
Can I like walk back and yell at them? It's like,
I'm currently standing at the bar, just ordering like a shot.
Shots.
So yeah, we can assume that for someone who has consumed multiple beverages, it's been about an hour.
I can hold my liquor.
Yeah, but you can't hold 3 people's liquor.
I only had 2.
I did make a perception check.
It has been about
I
an
did
hour.
pass
It
my
has-
beer to you as well.
it
and
has
it's just
been about an
place
hour.
it right in front of you.
All
No,
right,
you
I
had
come
2 to
back
start with,
and
and you have a 3rd.
I hear Nasreen talking about my condition, and I yell, "I am in absolutely fit condition. Hunt for moons and the moonlight, stumbling and almost falling on my face."
So she's hunting moons, so that's a bad sign already. So let's get her in a bed somewhere.
I go,
Right.
I stumble
So-
inside and hear the shots being ordered, like kind of passing up Cernan and Nasreen, and just head straight to this.
And so
Need. Listen, this Firebrand whiskey is really good. It's really good. Got anything stronger?
I'll have some.
If you got
I'll
anything
have some.
stronger,
I love drinking.
need more of that. Like this is like a 5 on the hot scale. I need it like to burn. Like I need like it to be a raging inferno as it goes down my throat. Like, a little more.
Can
I
I get one of
feel
those as well? I'll have what he's
as-
having.
And one for them. One for each of them.
and then
I pass out after this shot.
Brenna kind of looks at you two, and because you can't see under the bar, you see him start like shuffling around, and he leaves the bottle on the counter and leaves the bar.
I pour a shot, and
I
then
look at-
instead of drinking it, I throw it behind my head.
Can I try to catch it?
No, you don't notice this. You don't notice
You,
this.
how would you like to? How would you like to? Okay, first off, roll
Wait, no.
sleight of,
He,
no.
Here's a sleight of
Backing
hand
up,
check.
Roll sleight of hand for tossing the drink.
Oh, you mean the shot itself? I thought you
Yes.
were talking about you picked up the bottle and chucking the bottle. Like, wait, no, don't chuck the bottle.
I poured a shot in a shot glass, and then
Oh,
instead of
okay.
drinking it, like, you know that scene in Emperor's New Groove?
Yeah.
Where
No,
they're like, yeah, I just throw it behind my head.
All right, so roll
By the
sleight
way,
of
no,
hand.
I rolled an 18 plus 3 dex plus my proficiency for sleight of hand, so that is a 23.
So he masterfully throws the shot behind him. However,
I rolled a natural 1 with the disadvantage. So
Wait, really quick. Can it land like in Fef's passed out character's mouth?
so as you masterfully throw this shot for Des, the world almost seems to slow down as he sees this like alcohol slowly going through the air.
And into my mouth, which
And-
And so he has a split second to roll above a
Oh.
really high number.
Okay.
What do we get?
To
Yeah,
try and
I
catch
I
it?
do?
Yeah.
Wait, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I rolled a natural 1
So he like
because I assumed it was a disadvantage because I'm already really drunk.
he sees the alcohol go and like dives for it and entirely misses, impacts the table with Brenna's wife on it, and she just looks at you very disapprovingly.
My head just hits the table and I just slump to the floor.
You take 1d4
All right.
bludgeoning damage,
All right,
Gladly.
and
I
the
apologize.
alcohol lands near Dreyer's mouth, and you see her like kind of sniff and just like kind of wake up a little bit, like try to reach for it.
I apologize to the barkeep. I put 2 gold on the counter. I pick up Dez on one shoulder, and I pick up Dreyer on the other, and I carry them up to their beds.
Scene.
My horn's kind of
Beans.
as you do that, I just kind of nuzzle into your up against your neck. I'm just like,
just like nuzzling at me. It's like, I start like kind of like dropping Dreyer because I'm like comforting Dez. I'm like
And,
petting him.
So
I'm drooling.
at this point, we will count
Anyways.
this as a long rest, so any damage is fine. Any spell slots suspended are
Yay!
refunded, and any other relevant bonuses that come with a long rest are now applied.
so
so-
so those 2 hit points I just lost.
Yes.
Sweet.
Listen, it was worth it for the joke.
Oh, it totally was.
And so, you awake in the morning. Several of you are in the same room. Dez and Dreyer were seemingly dropped in a room, not even on a bed, just in one of your rooms, and everyone else was in a separate one.
No.
Shit.
I wake up. I just immediately grasp my head. I'm just like,
I
Daggers.
never get hangovers.
daggers, painful. Oh, hello. Good morning. How'd you sleep last night? I just stretch. Apparently, she's still passed out.
sorry. We're in the same room, right?
Yes, you are
Yeah.
in the same
This
room.
time. Oh,
Apparently, we were just dropped on the floor as soon as he
on the
entered.
floor.
Oh no! Here's what happened. I dropped Dreyer, but then I neatly laid Dez and covered him in a blanket.
You just like tucked me in.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, that's great. So I just wake up and just like kind of stretch and just like.
But with a hangover, right?
Yeah, like I've got
Okay.
like these like I'm just like rubbing my temples. I'm just like.
Well, I
I don't
Uh,
remember this bed.
I like
I
to
wake
walk
up-
in with some coffee and some water, and I give
For
them
one
to Des and
person.
say, "Here, feel better."
I just
And then I
take-
look at Dreyer and I say, "You need to drink less," and then walk away.
Do you have a problem with elves or something? I yell. "Oh,
Half
I'm
of this
upset
party
about
is
a
elves. Are you kidding me?
I just look over at Dreyer and I'm just like, I think it might be that symbol thing you got hanging around your neck. I down the coffee as quickly as I can. I just chuck the water out the window.
Outside the
by
window,
that?
you hear
Hey!
the sound.
Wait. Did he chuck the coffee out of the window?
No, I downed the coffee and I chucked the
Okay.
water out the window.
Oh, you asshole!
Outside the window, you hear this like shriek of surprise, and as you peer over, it is the innkeeper's wife. Now drenched
Sorry!
in a cup of water.
Sorry about that.
I think you're gonna have to bone her to make that up to her after all this.
And
Oh.
so
They don't have a brothel here, so that does make some things.
you awake
Easily
in the morning.
spice
How much gold?
And downstairs, you hear that the tavern is pretty light. There is not a whole lot of people around. There is Brenna behind the counter, but other than him, just about 4 or 5 people left over from last night.
I walk. I take the blanket off of the bed and kind of toss it over my shoulder and say, "All right, what time of the morning is it, by the way?"
So, about 1 hour past dawn.
Okay, so I start walking out the door and say, "I'll be outside if you need me. Bacon, eggs. I'll just order that when I get downstairs." And I walk downstairs. Boom, boom, boom.
I walk to the bar as well to order coffee.
And I say, 3 more cups of coffee, pour some of that fire whiskey in it, and I'll be outside. Bring me some bacon and eggs when you get a chance. And I yell it at the barkeep, and I just flick a gold piece at him.
And he like catches it and like bites it to check authenticity, and just grumbles, and then goes in the back to start making food.
And I walk kind of back. I walk over to like that like open space area and just like flip out the blanket and lay it like flat on the ground and start doing like this really intricate like yoga, different type of stances, kind of as the sun is rising. And
So is okay.
I'm gonna put 1 piece of gold on the bar just to prepay and to thank him for everything while I'm getting my coffee and waiting for all my other comrades to wait.
I just go and stand outside waiting for people to sober up still.
You take 1d4 emotional damage.
As you walk outside, you see me like
You see him doing yoga and take
you see me shirtless doing yoga. And you can see like all across like the back and across the torso there's like this across the entire back there's this intricate tattoo of what looks like a multi-headed beast with 3 of the heads going one each up the shoulder blades and down onto the actual arms themselves, the one up to the actual head and around the eye, and then the rest of them there's like 3 other heads that kind of sprout out across the back and kind of seem to wrap around the torso of my purple body.
Hey, I have a question. What's the weather like right now? Is it like super warm? Is it super cold?
It is still early in the morning, so there is still a fair bit of morning dew and morning coolness, but you can tell that there's no clouds in the sky. It will be a very warm day moving forward.
I have
Okay.
a question about
Morning
elves.
glow.
So,
Let me
elves don't sleep, they meditate. Do they pass out after being drunk though? They
Probably.
only meditate for 4 hours. At least the moon, or I think the all high elves. I'm just really curious about this.
I
Immersion.
believe that you can still pass out. I believe the meditation is more for when you rest. You aren't
Long
required
rest.
to sleep.
Oh, okay. So it's like a plus. Like I can just meditate for 4 hours instead
You
of.
can, yeah,
going
you
to
can
sleep for 8.
meditate instead of sleeping.
Perfect. Okay. Cool. I should
You
probably do that
are-
more often.
You
Yeah.
are not passed out from this particular alcohol.
Ah, well, I mean, since we already played it out, we could. It worked. You know what? I could have had like a flask of my own special alcohol, but I'm all out now. I used it all last night. I poured it extra into the other alcohol.
Ah, moon liquor.
Exactly. We call it moon wine.
Moonshine.
Like moonshine.
Sounds like you
moonlight.
praying, am I right?
All right, so everybody's up. There is breakfast being put on the bar, as well as a fair bit of coffee laced with some
What-
of the fire whiskey from last night.
What type of food is available for the breakfast?
I asked for some of that to be brought out to me.
The food is on the bar. There is about a dozen eggs for all of you. About a plate's worth of smoked meat of some kind, and 2 loaves of bread.
I take all the
straight-
bread.
Damn it! I yell at him about the bread and try to snatch
I have
some
already
from him.
consumed 2 loaves of bread, and I
Wait,
say, "What are you
wait,
gonna do
can
about
I
it?"
Can I do something? Can I fight him with this?
Is
Yeah,
it
you
through?
may.
Is it through like the
sleight
like?
of hand? What do I do?
Um,
Acrobatics.
at this
I have
point,
already
I think,
consumed.
both
loaves
of you
of
roll
bread.
athletics, and we'll do a grapple check.
Where the fuck do my D20 go?
Wait.
I think this is it.
Oh yes, I'm athletics proficiency. Is that what, strength?
Wait,
Yes.
athletics or
Athletics.
acrobatic? Oh, athletic. Oh, shit.
Athletics.
It is.
Oh,
17.
Natural 20. Wait, plus. Wait, nothing. Wait, do I get it? No, proficiency. I got a natural 20 though.
Strength, and if you have proficiency.
You
My strength
successfully
is 0.
you successfully grab not only 1 loaf of bread, but both of them.
Okay. And I tell him, you better act nicely. You better ask nicely if you want to share some of this. Like,
You're
nibbling on
drunk.
it. I'm not drunk anymore.
That's what a drunk person would say.
Well, you're not drunk and you never were. Huh.
You don't know that. You have no proof.
Well, then take a shot of fire whiskey right now.
Sure. I take a shot and audibly I can drink. See?
I hand him one.
And at this
loaf
point,
of bread.
Brenna just kind of comes over and looks at both of you and takes
And
the
she
bread
hands me a
back
loaf of bread.
and hands one
I
to
walk
each
over-
of you and says, "Get out," and just leaves.
I go outside, go back into that alley I was in last night, and I immediately throw up before eating anymore.
Do I see him leave?
Uh,
I mean, if we're
I
both
would- yes,
exiting
you
the
see him
door, 'cause
leave.
We're told. Okay. I see him walk over to the alleyway. I am interested. Do I obviously I'm bored. We were the only ones kicked out. Do I follow? Do I see him throw up? Perception.
You follow. Yeah, you very obviously see him throw up.
Can I bluff that I wasn't throwing up?
Oh my God.
Roll deception.
You got to get rid of that bile. There's a lot in there. You got to get rid of.
All right, but my deception, I rolled everything added up. It's a 20.
Jesus.
You find some miraculous way to not only throw up
Rat, is
and
it
then
dead
kick the
rat?
dirt over it so that they can't see it, but also to mask the scent of your breath by some grace of an unknown deity. There is
I have no
apparent
god
evidence that
that
there is-
blesses me.
That there is vomit.
You have no
Okay.
proof. I have very
Oh,
high
well.
deception.
I finish eating my bread and just kind of an annoyance of the fact that I got kicked out, even though Des was obviously much more of a troublemaker.
I'm outside doing.
It's only because
I'm
the wife
outside.
wants to fuck him that he's still allowed inside.
I'm outside
All
doing
that
yoga
naked
right now.
Oh yeah.
I
I'm
walk
outside
up
doing
behind
yoga right
Dez
now.
and I start rubbing his shoulders.
As he walks up, I'm just like, no.
Damn.
Is all
Right.
the other 3 back inside still eating?
Yeah, so I just watch all this go on, and I'm kind of getting irritated. I'm not a morning person to begin with, and I just come out. And I'm like, are you guys fucking ready to go, or you want to quarrel some more? What do you guys want to do? We got wolves to kill. We got like 7 gold pieces per head. I try to like give some kind of motivating speech on like, let's get this on the road. Let's quit like quarreling over bread.
Well, I would have been more. I would have had more energy if we had done it in the moonlight, but whatever. Let's go. Acting all prissy.
And
I
so,
start heading straight to the east.
In what order do you start departing?
Do we have the map up or anything?
We have D20. You want to set a marching order?
I have a.
I want to go.
I do not have a map for a while. So this map
Okay.
that's there right
We
now.
can
I
just
don't-
set a
I-
line for
We'll go
marching
to
order.
pretend we're going to the right.
Okay.
Well, since I'm going first at the moment, it's not really the smartest idea, but I will be in front.
I'll go right
Because I'm
behind
huffy
you.
and puffy.
Guess
You?
I'm behind them.
Roger.
Yeah, I click the mouse and then you can move your character.
Yeah, this is just for us. I'm not gonna put this on until things happen.
Who put themselves all the way at the front?
That was me.
That is
I thought you were ranger.
that is our Lunaria
sorry.
friend. That was all
Okay.
the way in front.
I picked the wrong one.
And then we got our monk in the back.
I will. I finished up my yoga and kind of readjust all my robes and everything, and take the blanket back inside the tavern and grab like 3 or 4 pieces of bacon, and then walk out the door.
And then as you guys are getting ready to depart, you're making your preparations. You hear a faint call out of "Wait for me!" And as you turn, you see this the lanky form of Vlad coming up with a big walking
we totally
stick.
forgot about him.
Coming up with a
Oh
large
my
walking
God.
stick.
As,
How are we gonna find the beast? We are such idiots. I start complaining about ourselves when it's
I walk-
obviously me that started drinking first.
I walk out with a mug of coffee, and I just go over. I was wondering when you were showing up, Vlad, and just take a sip.
And so he looks.
I knew he was coming the entire time.
He looks a little bit
sure
nervous,
you did.
but also excited. And so he
Am I?
looks at you and asks, "Are you all ready?"
Yes.
Yes, man. Well, you seem to have a change of heart today. Yesterday you were so scared. Where did you find your bearings?
Tullius offered myself a section of the reward as well if I accompanied you.
Oh.
How much are we talking?
And he kind of looks away sheepishly, and he says, 10 gold?
We'll call it
Tullius
4.
Is
The council head.
He was that rotund halfling that we saw back in the tavern during the meeting last night.
yeah, I say we all go back in
Ah,
there
yeah,
and march
Roundy.
in there and demand 20.
I mean, we're getting 7 ahead. He's getting 10 to just guide us.
10 gold would be
you're
enough
sure
to.
it's not 10 ahead.
Nah, I think he's just getting 10 gold. Period. Is that right?
Okay, that's fine.
10 gold, period.
10 good
How
total.
much
Yeah,
do we
that should
get
be-
for killing the bugbear, though?
You
What
could always
bugbear?
fall on a sword at the end of the adventure.
Red, I know your
No.
tricks.
No, don't
use
don't worry, Vlad. He's kidding. You're not gonna fall on a sword. Nothing bad's gonna happen to you. And I kind of just
No.
I take my quarterstaff and I just kind of nudge Lunaria a little bit in the shoulder.
Yes, joking.
All Well,
So
without
now
further
he looks
ado,
thoroughly
let's start
afraid,
walking.
but nonetheless
Convincing.
starts leading you
Well done.
east through the woods
So-
on some of the smaller trails.
He's in the front now.
I start humming Yellow Brick Road.
Oh
we
yeah.
know that?
Can you
Roll
hum
a
it?
performance check.
Oh man, what do I add to that? Charisma?
Yes.
Critical fail.
No good.
You start to
Wow.
hum, and then you start to do a voice check. Open your mouth, and a bee flies into your mouth. And you take 1d4. No, I'm kidding. And then you just shut your mouth and just kind of just swallow and just accept your fate and move on. So
roll for stinging damage.
in about a half hour, you make it to the first hunting lodge. It is empty, but it looks pretty well kept. The trail around it is very well beaten, and there appears to even be some tools left in and around the hunting lodge. That this is one that they use a lot. Vlad points out that no matter, even though the wolves have been plaguing the flocks, they have never made it to this hunting lodge yet. This is still considered safe.
Hey, Nat. Hey, how far out from the hunting lodge are we at the moment?
I would say about 50 yards or so.
Hey, Nazrin, you wanna get ahead and just kind of check and make sure that nothing super amiss up there. Make sure like there's no wolves. See what your keen half-elf eyes can see.
Yep, I can do that.
Half elf or high elf?
He's a half. I'm a high.
Okay.
Or high elf. Sorry.
It's half elf.
Oh, who's?
I was talking to Nazrin.
Oh.
I was talking to Nazrin.
Oh, I thought you were talking. Okay. Yeah, I can accompany him. He's already said that he was going.
Oh yeah, if both of you want to try that out, so see what happens. See how that goes. See, just make sure there's nothing waiting in line for us up there.
And so as you two approach, this gust of wind comes in, and it carries with it a very rancid scent coming from the hunting lodge.
Like, oh, we don't
Smells
smell it.
rancid.
Wait, just them.
Wait,
right?
do they smell it or do we?
Just
do we
you,
smell
just
it
you
only?
two, just you two.
Do you smell that?
Smells of death.
It does. Should we? Let's tell them to hold off, and we'll investigate the cabin, the lodge. So I turn back and tell them to hold on.
Use
that
your
there's
voice. What do you say? Use your words.
What?
I
to
don't
tell
understand
me.
this.
Like, yeah, you tell them this. You gotta be like, hey guys, hold off.
Okay.
There's death in here. So like, use your.
There's death in here.
There's death in here.
Are you shouting this, or are you
Don't
doing
open
Yeah.
doors.
So
using smoke
I-
signals?
Show us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like pretend you're role playing.
Well, so I turn back and yell, "Hey, it smells like death in here!"
As soon as he starts yelling, I just immediately duck behind a tree, and I'm just like, nope. Like to roll stealth.
I'd like to go into stealth.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd like to approach the cabin and roll to investigate.
So as you
Alright.
roll to investigate,
18 for stealth, by the way.
18 for stealth. Okay.
As I just duck right behind a tree.
Do you still have the blanket?
No, I left that at the bar.
And I got a 21 for stealth.
So both of you kind of duck into some underbrush, and
I'm just standing here.
even your allies are impressed with how hidden both of you are.
Especially
and so
considering the bright pink, I think.
What was our investigation roll?
Well, do I need to also like go into stealth before I investigate, or would that
That's up
matter?
to you.
No.
No, I'm just getting sneaky because I'm gonna
Okay.
approach it.
Well,
You're yelling when apparently there's something wrong with the cabin. I'm just.
I was told to
I'm out.
yell.
I was asking.
Okay.
So yeah, the
I'm
two
just out.
in front make investigation rolls. So that would
Alright.
be
6 plus 4.
6 before 10. Okay. So as you approach the cabin, you kind of peer in through one of the windows, and front facing. Go ahead.
I got a 15 plus 4.
Nice.
All right. So both of you kind of look into the cabin, and front facing the hunting lodge looks absolutely fine. But on the inside, you can see that there is blood on the floor, and it appears that one of the windows in the back was ripped off to make an entry, and there is a large hole in that section of the wall. Like the rip brought some of the wall with it.
Oh, never mind.
So, with me looking at the rip, is it ripped outward or ripped into the cabin?
Ripped outward.
Oh.
So the debris is going out of the cabin.
Yeah, out of the cabin.
Wait, so that means someone ripped from the inside outward?
You're not in this room, okay?
I know.
Ooh,
Out here looking
Nazrin
around.
getting a little feisty there. I like it. I like it.
The anti-meta game.
I love it.
All right. Well, I don't know your name. Lunaria. It looks like the window is ripped outwards. Do you see that?
I do. It looks like somebody tried to get out in a hurry, and they could have just used the door over here.
Can we like go closer to it to see if there's any kind of blood or anything else on?
Yes. So you approach, and I'm just gonna go off your previous rolls.
Sure.
As you approach, you notice that the blood is leading outward from the cabin, as if something was killed and dragged out through this hole. The scratch marks around appear to be far too large for wolves.
Okay.
Can I
But
follow the blood trail.
yeah, we can. Should we get Dreyer to come over to cast on the blood to see if it's human or what kind of blood it is?
Can I do that?
I'm slowly making my way
Can you
through the
do-
brush
can
up
you
and
do, like,
like
a
up and
nature
around the other side of
What?
the cabin.
Can you do a nature check, Fef?
A nature check.
Like a nature check or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, but it's not gonna. I don't have any. I'm not proficient in it. I'm a moon elf, not a wood elf. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but I mean, you could still make the check, which is what they're asking
Yeah.
for.
Oh yes. Yes. Okay. Yes, I come over. Or wait. Are they like they say my name out the?
Yeah, I signal to the rest that it's safe to come.
I walk.
I'm still in
into
stealth.
the room and study the blood in the hole on the wall.
I'm slowly making my way like through the brush around the cabin, like staying like on the tree, like still in the tree line area.
All right, I go ahead and do a nature roll as I sniff the blood, and I got an 11.
Plus anything?
No.
No?
Nope.
So you notice that these claw marks are significantly larger than possible for wolves, much more akin to that of a bear. But you do notice a very, very weird, one very strange mark as well that does not come from any claw that you recognize.
Hey, guys, this mark here. I don't think it comes from any claw that I recognize. I'm not even sure. Can I tell if it comes from a claw or is just like what exactly does it look like?
So
It's
it's one very,
it's just
very
the shape?
large gash made by some sharp thing.
Okay, this one large gash here doesn't look to be of any claw mark I know of. Does it look like? Can I check see if it's like a weapon mark?
Sure.
Do I have? Oh, how would I do that?
That would be just perception.
Alright, and I got a 15 plus 6, so 21.
It is not a weapon of any kind.
Or any, like, household item, I guess.
Not any... It is very distinctly a natural mark.
Oh, okay, so I do notice that. So this looks like it's not any weapon or household item, but it looks to be like something off of someone that was living? Or something? I sniff around in the air and just continue to investigate.
I go into stealth and follow the blood trail as far as it goes.
So as you're following the blood trail, you hear, not close but very far out in the distance, you hear the faint howling of wolves through the woods.
Do we all hear that?
To the east?
Am I with him still, or am I at the cabin?
It would be loud enough that you would be able to hear it if you were in any proximity to the lodge.
Okay, so
we all hear
pretty
it.
much.
So we all hear it.
Is it coming from the east?
Yes, farther
The way
east.
we're going?
Farther east.
Okay.
I immediately, as soon as I hear that, like, kind of go alert and start looking around just the outside for like tracks or anything that might, or just like or just scanning like the general area, seeing like if there's like anything like I notice any movement or anything coming towards us, like in our direction.
So,
I start shuffling to the east in stealth mode still.
So roll. I think if you're gonna do, you want to do tracks, is what you want to do.
Like just I want to see, yeah, like so tracking and tracking and seeing if I see any tracks are coming up.
So
Or like
we're gonna
around it.
do nature for that actually.
All right. Nope, that's gonna be bad. That's gonna be a 3.
So you notice that there are tracks leading to the east.
Okay, cool.
All right, so hold on, I'm lost because Wilden had already started tracking. I thought.
Yes.
Okay.
He's following the blood trail.
The blood trail. Okay, and now Hackman is following tracks that are separate from the blood trail.
He has found tracks, but they lead in a similar direction to the blood trail.
So I see Des going that way. I follow, and while staying very alert myself and looking for anything that he misses behind.
I miss a lot apparently.
Yeah, so I would like to also go into like stealth and help track on his end with Dez.
Okay. And then I have to roll for our shepherd friend who is terrified, also trying to be stealthy. He is surprisingly stealthy.
Look back at Vlad and I'm just like, Vlad, Vlad.
Where'd Vlad go?
Vlad.
So Vlad kind of whispers to you to like follow, or to like, or those that are not currently following the trail that they have left, and kind of hides in the underbrush and is following them.
And should I roll for stealth as well as I'm following and trying to mimic their stealth?
Only if you want to be stealthy.
Yes, so I'm gonna.
All right, so I need to roll for stealth
17.
also.
Yes, you will need to
Plus
roll for
4,
stealth.
I have 18, 21.
Right,
You are very
I got
stealthy.
10. I got 10 plus 7.
So the entire party, tracking with Lunaria in the lead, follows the blood trail, basically indiscernible from the forest around you. After about a half hour of this, Vlad kind of whispers, "We're approaching the second lodge." As you are approaching, the wolves sound again from the east, this time much, much closer.
Can I roll for anything to figure out how close they sound?
That would be just perception.
Okay. I got a 7 plus 6, so 13 on perception, trying to figure out how far the wolves.
You notice
caught
that
my ear this
the
time.
wolves can't be more than a half mile to your east.
The wolves can't be more than a half mile to our east.
Then let's go no more than a half mile to our east. Continue.
Maybe just.
I go half mile and 1 foot to our east.
No. I go like 85% of a half mile.
Just kidding. I
Slowly and
don't do
stealthily.
that.
Okay,
We
roll
move
three
it- how about
d6s.
this?
Alright, now roll 3 more. Ooh, no, just
Good, it's nothing like that.
No.
We
I go-
probably progress until we hear something or see something of note.
I go
Very
up to the.
carefully.
I just kind of go up to the hunting lodge, the second one, and just kind of peek in and see what I can see through one of the open windows. I'm assuming, or I'm hoping they're open.
So as you go up, you notice that there are in fact no windows, because all of them have been broken. This hunting lodge is kept in no semblance of repair at
jeez.
all. It looks as if that there are, in fact, several animals that have made nests in it at this point, several of which are also dead. There are no tools, no signs of any humanoid interaction at all.
Okay. Are there tracks, or is there anything like in here? Does it look like anything made like any like large creature might have made like a den or anything in it? Or...
So you see similar sights that you saw before in terms of large creature.
Yep.
But if you would like to inquire further, I will require checks.
I would like to inquire further.
Then we'll start with the nature.
Not bad. That's gonna be a 16 total.
So you notice that this is not only one pair of tracks, but 2.
Okay.
2 very, very large beasts. You identify them as owl bears to be nearby.
Okay.
The tracks are fresh, no more than an hour old, as well as the blood stain being very much the blood of an owlbear.
I come, as soon as I see that, I come racing around. I'm like, we have to save the owlbears right now. And I'm like just very frantic and panicked.
Are the owl bears nice bears or are they mean bears?
Have you met an owlbear before? They are the cuddliest things in the world.
Are the wolves killing them?
There's blood in there. I'm assuming they've been attacked. We need to go save them right now.
Okay.
All right, well, I'll go with you. Let's go save the owl bears.
Let's try to keep
Further-
our stealth down because I hear them.
Further in your nature check, this is entirely up to you if you divulge this, because you passed. You know, owlbears are primarily nocturnal. They should not be out in the sunlight unless prompted.
Oh shit.
And you
Yep,
know
totally.
very handedly that they're not cuddly.
I still say it regardless, but it's fine.
Do you mention anything about the nocturnal?
I'm more frantic and panicked, and I don't really know. What I've said is what I've said.
I don't really. Okay.
Vlad's
gearing up
face
for a
is
fight.
now extremely pale with the mention of owlbears, and he asks if he can go home instead of accompanying you farther.
I don't know if that's wise. What if the wolves? They're so close. What if they get you on the way back? We can protect you.
Do you want that 10 gold or not?
And then he like gulps, but begrudgingly agrees to follow.
I only do it because I don't think it'd be safe on your way back. We've passed the safe zone.
And he points to the east and says, "The wolf's den is that way."
That's hi ho, off to work we go. Do we need to roll more stealth checks before we continue?
No, this is fine. So, as you progress through the undergrowth, you this isn't even a perception roll at this point. You hear very close next to you a very, very loud crack, like a very large log has been splintered about 50 yards to your north.
Well, that didn't sound good.
I'd like to approach it very stealthily and check it out.
I move with him.
You start moving. You make it about 2 steps before 30 yards to your north, there is another loud crack.
Wait, what was the other one? The other one was to our west?
North.
Oh, north.
We're both to the north?
Yeah, both to the north.
What?
I ready my bow in that direction. Does that help me at all to ready it? Probably should. I ready it.
Yes, it does.
I kind of reach back and on my back and grasp my quarterstaff, as well as reach into my pouch and pull out some of the lamb meat that we had, and just kind of hold that out in front of me.
Ready my longbow and continue to move forward.
Yeah, I conjure my daggers.
I take a piece of the lamb meat and stick it, onto one of my arrows. A nice, thick, juicy piece. And ready that, just in case I can use it as a distraction.
So, 15 yards at the most, another loud crack, followed by a pained screech that is far too high-pitched to be a wolf's.
Does it sound like an owlbear? Can we do a nature check for that?
You would recognize this as an owlbear.
All right.
I immediately race forward.
Don't you dare! I say, don't you dare run! Don't you dare!
I'm already gone. I'm booking it.
Damn it!
I follow him.
So, roll for initiative.
Yeah!
I follow slowly behind.
Yeah, I'm joining them, I guess. I don't know.
Wait, we all roll for initiative or what?
Everyone rolls for initiative.
Yes.
Yeah.
19.
I got a 15.
I got a 15 as well.
15.
I got a 5.
All right.
5. Okay. I need Narsons.
Who? Me?
Yeah.
I got a 15.
15.
That's nursery.
And then Dramas.
Dramas.
Dramos.
Dramos.
Dramas.
So I've conjured up a longbow as well, and I'm just kind of watching these, just kind of laying back. I'm not really, I'm just kind of sitting back. I'm not gonna make any moves right now. I'm just kind of encountering my team, kind of playing the backup card.
Roll for initiative.
Roll for initiative. Just any d20 number.
Blah.
6.
12
plus 1.
Oh, 6.
Plus 1 is 7.
7. Okay.
Wait, where'd you get
So-
the plus for initiative?
It's your dex. It's your dex mod.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm sorry. Then
Oh.
I get 19. I'm sorry, I got 19.
19.
Hold on. So it's
Mine's
the roll
22.
plus your
dexterity.
dex?
Yeah.
Yep. Plus your dex mod.
Oh, I'm 15 and 17.
17. Gotcha.
17. Cool.
No, 15 plus 17.
Which
First.
is
What you're
What?
Oh,
No, 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 no,
your
no.
dex, your
mod.
dex modifier.
Okay.
Okay.
Plus
So that's
three,
gonna be
plus
that's
three.
gonna be 18.
Yeah,
There we go.
I got it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was like, wait a second, what?
That's an initiative of 34. All right, let's.
All right.
So-
Nasrin just like ends the encounter before we even get there.
Dez.
It was so fast.
Dez runs into this small clearing and notices one of the owlbears bleeding profusely from a what appears to be just a wound on his leg.
No!
And the owlbear like looks up as you enter the small clearing and just like screeches.
I look at it. What's currently attacking it right now?
Nothing that you can see.
I chuck the meat as hard as I can, like 30 feet away from the owlbear, and I start running towards the owlbear to like, and then like stop like maybe like 10 feet in front of it just to like and kind of crouch down, and be like, "It's all right, we're here. Nothing's gonna hurt you anymore."
So we're gonna roll. What skill would this even be?
Animal handling.
Animal handling,
Yeah,
maybe.
Animal handling.
All right, so roll an animal handling.
Come on, big money, no area. Oh, no, it's so good. Oh, 11.
So the owlbear, being already shaken up by the wound on his leg and a piece of meat flying through the air next to him, shrieks at you, and then almost looks at you, almost ready to run, but then like narrows his eyes and takes a step towards you.
I'm just like, it's okay. Well, like I got like one hand on my bow staff, and I've got like, or my quarterstaff, and I've got like one other hand just out, just being like, it's all right, everything will be fine. And I'm like trying to like imbue like the nature of the Feywild and the Feyness that from where I come from, trying to like just kind of reason with it, saying it's all right, we're here to protect you, we're here to defeat whatever and to get rid of whatever hurt you, whatever destroyed your hurt your leg.
At this point, you hear very close next to you the howling sound of wolves, and the owlbear kind of like looks at you, and then moves west away from the noise.
It's kind of one of those like both of us look at the direction, look back at each other, and he just starts scampering off, and I just turn in ready to prepare myself in the direction of the howl.
Yes.
Can I go stealth and flank?
Yeah, you can go stealth. Make a stealth roll. Are we flanking the owlbear? Or are we flanking
The noise.
Okay, the noise. Gotcha.
Am I entering combat in stealth?
I can't
yes,
see my dice because it fell off my table.
7. It shows in the chat.
So,
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can't see it. Oh, okay, I see it. All right. Plus stealth was plus 7, so 14.
14. All right, you are hidden.
I am.
You are quite
So-
hidden.
Jokes for days.
Dreyer, being first in the initiative order, notices that the wolves sees them out of the corner of her eye approaching the clearing that you are in. There,
The owlbears?
she
Is it the
notices 4 wolves.
Okay, how far away from me are they? Or do we have...
You notice them being about 30 yards.
30. Well... Uh,
How close are they to each other?
They're running together as a group, but not in a line fashion. They're kind of fanned out, as if they're looking for this owlbear. So probably 10 feet or so from each other.
They're moving slower.
Yes.
They're searching.
They're searching.
I approach slowly with my bow ready, still with the meat, and I attempt to talk to them. I'm just gonna go straight out and start. Hey, here, little wolves. Can y'all understand me?
And then roll a. Let's do perception first.
18 plus 6, 24.
So you notice. You notice the markings on one of the wolves is the same as one that you saw attacking Vlad the day before, and so this wolf,
the same wolf
pauses and looks at you again, and just says, "Need owlbear."
Why do you need the owlbear? For food?
Yes.
Who taught you to speak?
We just know.
How long have you known? I'm proud of myself for holding a conversation this long.
5 moons.
Five moons. That do you know of a
It's a few
resident
months.
Can we all hear
sorcerer?
this?
Was it?
Yeah,
Can
you'd be
y'all
able to
hear
hear
me?
this. You'd be able to hear this.
Oh,
All right. I asked them, do you know about Alexei Morrison, a resident sorcerer in a nearby town? He went missing about 5 moons ago too. Do y'all know where he is?
And then the wolf kind of cocks its head and just looks confused.
Do you have, and then, do you know of a beast, a bigger beast, or that, do you know of a bigger beast? Do you serve a bigger beast?
And then it says it looks at its companions and points to the wolf to his left that is slightly larger than himself.
How does a wolf point?
I'm just imagining the dog just going
with his nose, just kind of motions.
I was thinking like a paw.
I kind of turn to my companions. These wolves don't seem to want to harm us. They know that we are stronger than them. I say we let them go. Maybe they could be of more help to us later. I know we need the gold, but let's go for the beast first. I look at Dez. Trust me, there will be more owlbears to protect.
I look very concerned at her that she's willing to sacrifice the life of a majestic owlbear. And I'm just like, no. That one is beautiful. It is fantastic, and it is a crime that it has been hurt.
I tell all creatures are beautiful under the moonlight. We are all equal. Trust me.
Yes, but I'm not going to let them go slaughter that thing by themselves.
So at this point, while this is happening, you hear the 2 shrieks from 2 different owlbears. One from the direction you saw the first one scurry off, and then one from the opposite direction, and they are now approaching, and the one that you had previously not seen makes an attack roll on one of the wolves, the one that Dryer was actually talking to.
Oh, so one of the owlbears goes and starts attacking one of the wolves?
Yes.
All right.
I kind of believe in the nature of the food chain. So, and I'm more worried about the humans' lives and getting the nature balance back. So I don't feel like I kind of step back from this.
I join in, and as soon as I see the owlbears start attacking, I just go and start as fast as I can, just racing forward and just start wailing on the wolves that are not.
That's my wolf friend, sir.
So we will do initiative order is the same. We will do the wolf's attack before Dez's.
Oh God, yes, they do.
Or sorry, the owlbear attacks. So let's say that's
May I request a potty break at some time in the next 30 minutes?
Yes. It is.
Yes,
we are very close to complete. So after scene complete, I'll tell you.
Completing the whole thing?
Yeah, there's this scene plus an additional. Okay. Or an additional after that, depending on how you do.
Okay, well I need a potty before that, I think.
So
Agreed.
this will be a. So the owlbear like approaches this wolf, and with the large beak, approaches the wolf and like snaps it, as if snaps his beak about in the middle of the wolf, almost puncturing and cutting the wolf in half.
Oh,
And the
I
wolf kind of
cringe.
just like falls and just is kind of like still alive but lying on his side, kind of looking
Wait,
to
the
his
wolf
friends.
is the one that almost gets snapped in half?
Yes.
Not the owlbear? I actually
Hot.
get very upset about this.
Have you seen an owlbear?
I'm gonna Google it.
I put it in chat.
Oh, thank you.
So now it is Dez's turn.
All right, I would like to race up with my quarterstaff and just whack it as hard as I can.
Whack the wolf or the
Whack the wolf.
Okay.
The wolf.
So for that is going to be a quarterstaff attack roll.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. So damage is for what on a quarterstaff? Is that a d6?
That's 1d6 plus 3.
So double it.
Yep. So that's going to be 9 points of damage total.
So this wolf that is already wounded and bleeding on the floor, you basically take your quarterstaff and like raise it up over both hands and bring it
Yep.
down on the side of this wolf's head.
No,
And there's a snap that's like audible throughout the entire clearing, and the wolf just falls limp.
The other wolves continue to fight, or are they scared off by our strength?
It is now.
Yeah, and as a
Go ahead.
and as a take the attack action. I'll spend a key point and go flurry of blows on one on two of the other wolves.
Can
that
I
are
yell
going.
out to them, even though I'm not fighting, I suggest attack the bigger wolf. If you take down the big one, the rest will run. I know everybody wants to get the heads, but I'm really interested in getting the big beast first, and then just basically slaughtering him.
Yep, I'm spending a key point to do an unarmed strike or 2 unarmed strikes against as a bonus action against the other wolf
two.
or
Okay, so,
2 of the other wolves that were there.
Just roll for both of them.
That's a natural 17 and a natural 13 plus
Okay.
5 to each of those.
So you hit the 17, you missed the 13.
Plus 5, which would
Oh,
be a
plus
total
5?
of 18.
Oh, yeah, then yes, you definitely hit both of them.
Okay, cool.
So
that's a
damage
D-
rolls.
That's going to be 5 points of damage for each.
Okay, so both of the wolves kind of like stagger back, stunned from the unarmed attack after watching one of their allies
Yep.
fall. Still standing, but very much angry and ready to fight
Mhm.
back.
Yeah.
Can we pause for a second to where, since I'm stealth and with my rogue, I get a bonus for helping him, right? To where can I jump into his unarmed attacks and then attack as well?
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. Let me look it up. Is that is that an ability name, or you just want to help him?
It's.
You want to pull out your sword or something, or?
I've got like, I got a short sword, but there's something that the rogue can do to where you get +5, or you get some kind of bonus if you're near somebody else.
That's that's when it's your turn, and you're actually up next in the order.
Okay.
So,
All right.
Narsen, it is your turn. You are in stealth.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm gonna jump in and help attack those 2 wounded wolves.
So you have 2, or you have 1 short sword, right? So you get to attack once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you want to either wolf? Does it matter?
Whichever one he hit first, I guess.
Okay. So the closest one to you.
Yeah.
So that is a D20 for your short sword.
Seven plus whatever his 15 plus whatever your dex.
My dex is +3.
So 18 right there.
18 hits for sure.
It would also be plus your proficiency, so probably
Um,
plus 2. So he'd be sitting at 20 total.
Okay, so it hits the first wolf, and now we roll for damage. Sneak attack. How does a sneak attack work?
1d6 of damage.
1d6.
If he- Yeah, if he's flanked.
1d6 extra damage.
Okay, so your short sword damage plus an additional d6.
so I need to switch my dice to d6. Is it
Yes.
2?
So 2d6s is
Yeah.
your damage total.
Well, plus
Level?
it's 2d6 on top of the actual damage itself from the short sword.
It's 1d6 for the stealth.
1d6 on,
For the
on
stealth
level
attack.
3.
Is it?
Yes.
I have it up right now because I need it. It is. Let me pull it back up. So sneak attack, beginning at first level, you know how to strike subtly and exploit a
And
foe. You can
third
deal
level,
an
it's
extra
2d6.
1d6 damage to one creature you hit with an attack.
And at third level, it's
Um,
2d6 for the sneak attack.
Oh, it is 2d6
Yeah.
level 3. You are correct.
Yep.
All right.
And
yep.
since
Okay.
and a short
Ooh.
sword is, I think a short sword's already a d6.
Yes. So
Yeah,
that's
so it'd be 3d6
3d6
then.
damage.
3d6 damage. Yep.
All right, so I did 1, so I need to do 2 more rolls,
2
correct?
more. Yes.
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 5,
So 7,
3.
10.
10 points of damage.
Okay.
Nice.
10 points damage.
So, coming out of hiding in the brush, you kind of like stab at the closest wolf that was just recoiling from being punched, and find the soft spot on his like underbelly leading into his chest, and stab him through the chest, and he falls limp to the ground. Next up is Lunaria.
Lunaria.
It's a 9.
9 plus 7, 16.
Okay, so attacking the next wolf, you hit, and just roll the damage.
Two plus 3.
Okay, so 5 damage.
5.
So you come out of hiding in the bush and attack this wolf, but seeing how his friend was just taken down, was ready, so is not surprised, and is able to kind of jump away. So instead of a fatal blow, is just getting cut down the side and is now bleeding from his side. It is
Alright.
now the it is now Saren's turn. So,
All right.
Saren.
How many wolves are left right now?
2. 1 badly wounded and 1 untouched.
All right. I would like to grapple the untouched one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's an athletics check versus a wolf's athletics check.
All right. Is a 14 plus strength and athletics. That is a 18.
So the wolf sees you approach and, like, instead of jumping away, like jumps towards you and kind of ducks under you, and then comes out behind you and like pushes you to the floor. Kind of like butts you to the floor and then takes a few steps away.
Okay. Can I stand up as a bonus action?
Yes.
I stand back up. And yeah.
It is now that wolf's turn. That wolf is, instead of attacking, going to turn to the east and run. You have a reactionary attack.
Who's you?
That would be Sir Nam.
Okay. I would like to throw one of my shadow daggers at it.
Okay, so roll for hit with advantage.
All right. It is a 1, but I have advantage, and that is a. So that's going to be. What am I adding to that? To the throw?
So that's the dice plus your dex, I think.
Yeah, that'd be 15 then.
Okay, you hit. Roll for damage, 1d4. For thrown daggers, right? It's 1d4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 3.
So the dagger sticks itself in this wolf, but the wolf is not incapacitated, so does run, and makes it a very far distance into the woods with a dash as his bonus action.
Alright.
You hear him like howling, but like pained howling as he progresses to the east. It is now Dramaz's turn.
How far is it in the woods? Like,
About at this point, he would have made it about 50 yards.
okay. And the one that's laying on the ground, how far is it?
From you, from where you're standing, I would say about 10.
And it's laying there, it's just really, really injured?
You're very injured.
Okay, I just conjure up like a longsword and I just go and attempt to just stab it in the throat real quick.
Okay, so that's a roll a d20 for hit.
So 11.
11.
Try to add.
And he's lying on the floor, so you get to roll twice because you have advantage. So you just take the higher number is what you take.
Okay, so 11.
11 is
Do
the
I
higher number?
do any like add anything to it or anything like that?
You don't need to. You hit with an 11 if he's on the ground.
Okay.
And then roll your damage.
No, I don't know what it is for like a longsword.
Longsword is a D8, I think.
6. Do I get anything for having proficiency or anything, or?
I don't remember how longswords work. I don't think you do.
Okay.
So, with 6 on a longsword, you like take your longsword and like walk up to this wolf that's already on the ground and just like stab it, and it like shrieks in pain and then like just folds over.
Cool. Can I just cut through and pull the head off as well?
Yeah. So you go ahead and take the sword and just take the head completely off of this wolf.
Got a 7 gold, boys and ladies.
And then
walking around and start taking their spoils from war and just using my arrow to kind of saw off the heads for them. while they're finishing up.
The owl bears kind of look at you warily. The wounded one kind of turns to the first and like makes a few guttural sounds, and then walks away with the other one following behind.
I stare at the owl bears and make a comment. Are they supposed to be out during the daylight?
I as they're walking away, I just like wave at them and say, "Have a good one, bye."
All right, so we have
as you say that, I'm like, no, they're normally not out there, and they normally are sleeping, and we don't normally see them until nighttime. But granted, home it's always like super twilight there, so it's real difficult to really tell when's day, when's night. So they're just kind of always out whenever.
Well, I mean, they were probably ripped from that cabin. They were probably staying at that second cabin.
I mean, that would make
nest.
That makes sense. That does make a lot of sense.
Alright, and so now if you would like to take a break, this is your scene cut.
Yes,
So
please.
this is a good time.
Are we during the scene cut? Are we sawing off the heads?
You can saw off the heads, yeah.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah,
Blood and
that's
guts.
fine.
I just want to point out that my
That's
character
hot.
is visibly way too hot to be wearing a trench coat and is sweating a lot.
Really, Cernan? Alright.
Alright.
I will notice that.
So yeah,
Alright.
I'm gonna take a small break. I'll actually like
We'll
just
be back.
talk to chat and hang out.
I'll be back.
Did someone just come through your window?
Don't ask questions.
Did your brother just come through your window?
Yes.
I was like, I know exactly who that is.
No, I know. I just got. Did someone just come through your window? So
It's his brother, and we don't have access to our room.
So.
Is it blocked off?
Yeah, it's been blocked off.
How's everyone doing?
So you cannot
I'm good.
leave
How's
anywhere
chat?
except for through the window.
You putting up with my very, very rusty D&D? So they're all gone. I can say whatever I want.
Yeah.
This next one is either going to be real fast or real slow, depending on how they do.
That just told me that, yeah, you're going to have to use
It depends.
the window to get to your room. Okay.
Could be both. We'll see. Ba-bum, bum, bum, bum. I will be right back as well. I'm gonna go get some of my coffee.
Alrighty then. Yeah. Another hat in here? There we go.
All right, I'm back.
Alright, then you can entertain. We will be right back.
There's nobody here. Alrighty then.
Hey, have you had lunch yet?
No.
Why? I'm gonna want to figure that out when we're in the community. That says like 2 more scenes. So, hour and a half maybe. I don't know. We're taking a quick break right now. Looks like an actual setup. Really nice. Huh? We have an actual legit setup and it looks really nice. Good.
Hey guys, what's going on? How's your day going? Are we gonna get a Pumat Soul character? Hey Raymond, what's up?
Hello?
Hello. I was just saying hi to chat.
Hi, chat.
Because they're cute. I mean, Vinyl or Torpid Tiger. That's a question. That's a big question for the DM.
Yeah, that's Red might make a Pumat Soul. He might not. We never know. This is our one time to interact with chat because you might have noticed we've been like interacting like kind of on the side when our characters aren't playing. We'll like talk in chat for a minute or two, but we're just trying to not break the illusion.
Immersion's a big thing for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we like every single second we're like, hey, yeah, by the way, that was called out in chat, then the game would be lasting like 3 times as long. I guarantee it.
What did I miss?
Oh, just talking to chat. This is fun. Hey, we're glad you're enjoying this. I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find a time to sprout wings and fly away. That is literally my goal right now. Do you want to ride on my back?
I mean, if you offered, I'm pretty sure my character would be like, hell yeah.
I'm sure of it too. We'll see. I wonder if I could do that. Maybe we'll see.
My character's such a weird character. I love him so much.
Oh, it's so great. I'm loving your character so much.
Okay.
I'm just trying to have a good time with it all. Oh yeah. So by the way, I do not actually have a way into my bedroom right now, so that's why my brother came in through the window.
I was really curious about that. What was the reason?
That's really funny.
And I don't know if anybody's noticed. I've just been changing hats every time I stand up, and I'm having a great time.
All right.
This is my fourth hat.
Captain Marvel is watching and he is very interested. He like wants to DM.
It's super fun.
No, people are enjoying this, and I'm having a great
I'm
time.
glad you guys are putting up with my DM. I'm very rusty.
May I
I think you're doing good.
One thing? May I suggest maybe
by all
for the
means.
people like Hiddnen and everybody else who hasn't done this as much, maybe we should like for a DM, maybe you should like ask them what they're doing more often. Like, are you talking, or like you just be like, ask them. So for the role play, issues, I feel like they need to be prodded.
For the RP.
I needed to be prodded a lot my first time.
For the RP.
Yeah. I know, like right now, I feel like we're kind of just screaming over the people that haven't played before.
I know, I feel bad.
So as you come out of the woods, 8 dragons appear. No.
I would like to fly up and ride a dragon.
I look at them and I'm just like, didn't see that coming.
Vlad, who is almost petrified by fear, finally emerges from the underbrush that he was hiding in, and like looks at you and like looks at the owlbears, and just doesn't say anything, and just like starts like slowly crawling to the east.
Why are you on all fours? That's kind of weird.
And he like looks up and he's like, "You're just lucky I haven't. I don't need my second pair of pants."
That's very true.
I brought extras for everyone, so.
Do you just pull out pairs of pants from your packs?
I pull out 3 pairs of pants. There are 2 of them that are supposed to be red that look a little faded, and the other 2 are supposed to be white and they look to be more pinkish.
Mr. Cernan, you seem to be very hot and sweaty under that trench coat.
No, I'm not taking it off. This is my shame.
Oh, you're ashamed, sir. Why are you ashamed?
That is a personal matter.
As we're walking, I continue. Are we walking towards the east now? If we're
yes,
walking
yes,
towards
we
the
are.
east,
Yes.
I continue asking Cernan, and just basically getting nothing as an answer as we walk.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm being like super secretive. I gave you a huge hint with the pants thing.
And so as you progress, Vlad says, "We're coming up on the wolves' den, and it's at like the base of this hill in the middle of the woods, and you can see very like here in the distance you can hear like the faint howling and growling of wolves, and you can see surprisingly a pillar of smoke, a small pillar of smoke coming off the top of this hill.
I think there's someone inside there.
And so he points his fingers at that in that direction and says, "It is right in that hill."
I look around for somewhere safe, like maybe a cave that we can hide Vlad in while we continue.
So roll a perception check.
Where's my 20? Here it is. I got 10 plus 6, 16.
16? Okay. So you don't find a cave, but you find like a naturally like hollowed tree with only one entrance.
Perfect.
That would probably fit a normal sized human.
Okay, Vlad, this seems like a good place to hide you, and that way you won't be seen by any wolves. We can cover it up with lots of leaves and such, and maybe I wish I could cast an illusion spell for more than a short time to help you, but we could try leaves.
Does Vlad fit in the tree? Isn't he supposed to be like really fat or something?
No, that's the other one.
That
Vlad's
was,
a lanky gentleman.
Vlad's just a normal human.
He is a normal human.
Such as myself.
Just like Cernan.
Just like Cernan.
And so as you like hide leaves and such in his tree,
human,
or like in the entrance of this tree, you can see or you can hear faint voices carrying from the direction of the encampment. Mostly just guttural, the same things that you've heard from the other wolves, just like 1-2 words, like go and etc. But 2 voices, very, very faint, you can hear that can articulate in full sentences, but you can't quite make out what they're hearing.
And one of the other elves, do they have, what would they need? I don't know. I'm trying to think of like, trying to listen.
I mean, I've got investigation and nature.
Wait, for what? What are you trying to do?
just to listen, really. Investigate, listen. I guess we
Investigate or
probably-
perception.
Yeah, I've got a high investigation, so I can investigate.
What's your investigation?
+4.
I have +6 on perception. I guess I could do a perception roll again. I don't... Well, okay, we're doing perception roll for listening.
Okay, perception roll
I get
for listening.
a 12.
A 12. Okay, so you can tell that these two Denzians have, like, can fully articulate sentences in common. You can pick out bits and pieces of words. You can hear Welton, you can hear wolves, you can hear move, you can hear fight, but you can't hear the whole sentence. You can't hear the whole
Well, I turn to my comrades. I can't hear the whole conversation, but they're talking about Welton moving and fighting. I'm afraid they're gonna take over, but why?
I mean, they're wolves. Wolves aren't commonly known to be super docile. I think we should just kill them all.
We need to find the beast first. The wolves, do they serve the beast, or can we convince them to be on our side? They seem to only care about meat.
I'm more concerned about where Alexi's at right now.
I'm concerned about the gold from the heads.
I'm concerned about the beast. I'm concerned about what Alexi has to do with the beast. I don't think he's innocent.
I think Alexi's dead. I think the wolves have killed him in the wild.
I think he did this.
Can we take the sheep meat that we have to try to get them to come out of the cave and then show them the other wolves' heads that we've already killed?
I said.
Wait, Nazreen, you need to ask us as like a, please, like ask us, like as a, ask us.
That's I am asking you all.
That's the RP ask, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
would prefer that we maybe use it as a trap to lure them out, and then go inside ourselves and see the beast. That way we have less adversaries.
I sit down and start making a fire, and trying to make a small little fire to cook some of the to cook some of the meat over.
Is there a survival? There's a survival skill, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So just roll survival for the fire.
Seven.
I laugh at him.
7. So you
7.
make a small fire. There's not a whole lot around for you to make like a decently sized fire, but you make a that you can cook about one piece of meat at a time.
I start trying to cook the meat and start the one little piece of meat to get like some wafting smell of like cooked meat going into the cave.
And okay, I'm gonna use my stealth roll. Can I stealthily hide like to the entrance of the cave, so if they come out, they won't see me if I slide past?
Yes. So roll 20 is active now. This is kind of like ish. I don't have the lower part of the map. Yeah, I don't have the lower part of the map, but you are in the woods. There's the clearing, and then this is the little encampment thing.
I'm gonna go right here and roll perception.
Okay.
Don't you mean stealth?
Stealth. 16 plus 4, so 20.
Okay, so you arrive at the entrance of their little place, very undetected. You can see.
So right here.
You can see, yes, about right here. Can I ping?
Where's your ping?
Hold click.
Hold click.
Yeah, click on it and just hold.
So about right here.
Okay, I can see.
You can see the light of what is a small fire. That the wolves are actually kind of gathered around.
Can I, do I see anything else in the cave? Any markings on the wall? Any leftover fur? Human skin, blood?
You see
bones?
generally what you'd expect to just have a society
And a
of
wolf den.
animals. There's just, there's a lot of droppings around, a lot of rough pieces of fur, some kind of, half gnawed on bones, but no, coherent markings of any sort.
Now I wait for them to smell the meat, or do whatever.
I would like to move up on the opposite side and roll stealth.
Okay, go ahead.
Up there, roll stealth. Got. Wow, this is not going to be good.
No.
This
I'm glad you're on the other side.
2 plus 2 plus 3. That's a 7.
So
fuck.
You do make it to the wall, but you do so with a fair bit of noise. You've kind of, destroyed a twig or two on the way, and you can, or you two that are now near the entrance can hear the words being said, as well as not just that there are conversations happening. So as you approach the wall, you hear one of the voices say, "They're here."
Ah, shit. I back up just slightly,
Or
but still stealth to the
bosses?
entrance.
Okay.
deal more damage and have 20% more.
And then we're gonna deal more damage and have 20% more, whatever your brother said.
I'm
With
going.
Bolster and Grievous, that makes my life so hard.
Okay.
I'm just gonna mute myself if I'm not talking.
Can I whisper to try to quietly mention to one of the others that I can create an illusion spell.
Okay, how would
if
you like to do
needed.
that?
I'm gonna stupidly yell at Cernan because he's the closest. Not yell, whisper. What do I roll for that? It's like whispering across the cave.
It's. I mean, you'd roll stealth, and he has to roll perception.
Trying to make a plan with Cernan. Maybe this is a bad idea. I already did it though. All right. Stealth is 13.
Okay. So you successfully convey a message. It is now up to Cernan if he is interpreting it.
I ask him if he has any ideas.
He's muted.
Yeah, because his
Perception is
brother's
12.
Okay, so you make out that she is offering to cast an illusion spell of sorts, and you guys slowly start hearing shuffling from within this cave or den.
Okay, wait. So she's telling me to like make that she wants to make an illusion of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
I cast minor illusion and make an owl bear that appears to have wandered into the cave.
Nice.
So
That's
Fucking
cool.
smart.
Yeah, I like that. That's real smart.
Roll for initiative.
Roll for initiative.
Roll
Okay.
for initiative.
Oh snap. Everybody?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, 20. Nice, natural 20.
Nice. 15 total.
Okay.
So wait, that's like 20 plus 4, 24.
20 plus your initiative, yeah.
11.
11.
You have a
Okay.
4 dex mod?
I do.
Good
I
lord.
went
Damn.
Wisdom, Dex, and then Constitution, but I'm gonna switch her up next time and do Charisma instead of Constitution.
All right.
Or I'm gonna change the character so I can be a
Cernan,
bitch.
Dramaz, and Nazrin.
Cernan got a 7 total.
7 total.
4 plus 1, 5.
Yeah, I got 4 plus 3, I think.
Lenaria got an 11 plus 3.
11 plus 3, so 14. Gotcha. And then you got what, Nazrin?
4 plus 3, so 7.
Okay. So, you successfully create the illusion of an owlbear. You hear a lot of rustling, and the two of you near the entrance can almost feel the breathing of two very, very large wolves kind of peering out into the opening. And one of them very, very easily notices that this is an illusion, and turns to the other and says in perfect common, "This is a trap." The second one turns to the first and says, "Spring the trap," and runs out. And so,
Hey, you
Runs out the front.
runs out the front.
Question.
Yeah.
Are me and Dreyer, are we in a shadow of any kind?
Yes. So
There-
this isn't the exact map, but you are it is still wooded around you, so you are still between this hill and some woods. So there's a fair
All
bit
I need.
of hiding to be done.
All I need.
So you notice that this wolf is easily double the size
Oh,
of a
fuck.
usual wolf, and whose fur appears to be tinted fire red.
Now, can I tell if this is the animal that made the marking from before?
You can try.
How to perception or
That
nature
would
or
be
both?
nature.
Nature. Oh, that's not good. 19. No modifier though.
You do notice that this creature appears to have been of enough size to make the large gashes that you saw earlier.
Okay. And I go first.
So first up in initiative order, yes, that is you.
Okay. I want to get this wolf out here. This is like now kind of what I want, and maybe to like block off the cave or something. Can I? Well, I go to. I go to shoot the wolf with my arrow.
Okay. Roll for hit.
Which is
D20.
Plus.
So it's going to be D20 plus your
Proficiency with
yes.
short bow. What is the proficiency add?
Yours should be 2.
Okay. Oh, it's the same as
Yeah.
everything else. Okay. It is 15, 16, so I got 17.
You hit. So your short bow damage is a D6, right?
Yeah, 1d8 for hit dice.
1d8, or for hit dice. Okay, then yeah, sure. 1d8.
Okay, let me make sure I got the right dice real quick. Alright, this is it. No, that has a 9 on it. Where's my 8? Here it is, Yes. 1d8. 3.
Okay.
I suck at life.
This large animal kind of like just takes the arrow to the side and just kind of like shrugs it off, and it looks almost unfazed. Next up in initiative is Des.
I look worried.
Or sorry, no, not Des. Yes, Des.
Okay. I'm sitting there slowly trying to cook this meat, and realizing it's not working too well. I just look up and I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's big. That's really big." And I just pull out my longbow,
okay,
which is there we go.
Okay, I was making sure.
I have like accidentally hit my button a few times.
I can see your lips moving, but I don't hear anything.
Yeah. I pull out my longbow, and I'm gonna make an attack with it against the thing because it's still far away, and I don't want to like moving up to it quite yet. So I'm gonna make an attack against it. That's gonna be an 8 to hit. So,
that misses.
Yeah, so it just goes flying off.
So you fire roll for damage.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no, it's me. You fucking hit me, you asshole.
I'm sorry.
You fucking hit me. You. Damn it.
I'm sorry.
This is the best possible outcome. This is the best possible outcome.
Best universe.
This is not the darkest timeline.
This isn't.
All right. Where's my D8?
Can we have a campaign called The Darkest Town?
That's 11 points of damage.
You assholes.
You pull back and like realize how hungry you are, and the scent of your half-cooked meat like distracts you, so that when you release the arrow, you completely obliterate a nearby squirrel. But otherwise, just stand there looking kind of awkward.
Dreyer sighs in relief and glares at Des.
I just look at her. I just look back at her and just like shrug and just be like,
Hungry.
And then there's like this just loud gurgle that comes from my stomach that just echoes throughout the clearing.
Next up is Lunaria.
I attempt to shoot it with an arrow.
Okay.
So 14 plus 7.
That hits. So we roll damage.
5 plus 3.
8 damage. So the second arrow hits very near to where Dreyer's arrow did. And you can see it kind of slump a little bit, but still stand pretty strongly. Like it's definitely wounded, but it's not going down yet.
It's wounded. Huzzah! I shout.
All right. Up next is one of the wolves' turn. So from the depths of the cave, or as the giant wolf gets hit, you hear this loud howl of like pain, but also like a commanding shout. And from inside the cave, you hear about a dozen similar howls. And then out of the cave comes another equally large wolf. This one, instead of its hide being a red color, its hide is a yellow color. And it is going to run out and attack Drayer.
Oh shit. All right.
I'm not like, this is just rough. There we go. This is close enough. So it's going to attack Drayer with it's going to attack with its claws. It's not like trying to. You can tell it's like it's just trying to bat you away. So it's like its claws are out, it's trying to bat at you.
Interesting.
17.
Since I. Huh?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, since I know it's just trying to bat at me. I don't know. This is interesting. I don't really want to. I'm going. So I can cast a spell as my reaction.
If the spell is a bonus action, then or it says it can be.
I don't
reactionary.
have bonus actions.
What spell is it?
I don't. I was just thinking blindness / deafness.
Let me see if that's a reaction.
I can move.
Yeah.
Where would it components be? Casting time is an action, not a reaction, so I don't think I
Okay,
can.
so no, not yet. Yeah, it has to say then, this can be used reactionary. This
is interesting. Why is it just trying to bat it? I really can I try to slip into the shadows and go stealth from all of this? Like just kind of get away from it. Like I want to try to slip into the fucking cave. Is there any way I can maybe roll past this? Oh, it's trying to bat me out of the cave, so it's gonna pay attention if I. Well. Okay.
I will allow, but you have to pass an acrobatics, an athletics, and a stealth check.
Okay, let's fucking do it. All right, let's go for stealth.
She's gonna fail one of them.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be athletics. So I got a 17 plus 6 for stealth.
Okay, so the stealth is good.
Acrobatics is a plus 4, and I got a 16. Now the athletics is a plus 0, and I got a 2.
Okay, so you successfully kind of shirk back into the shadows enough to like confuse where it's aiming, and jump over the blow, but cannot make it past the beast.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do not take any damage. This. Yes, but you and the wolf are still very much facing each other, with the wolf between you and the.
Between me and the cave still?
Between you and the cave, yes.
Okay, so I ended up basically like right here.
Yeah, you're like right there.
Alright. Damn it.
And then the wolf, using its free action, just looks to you and again in perfect common says, just go away.
Can I talk back or is that the end of my turn?
You have a free action, yeah.
What? We won't go away until we understand what's going on here. Tell us before, help us understand, or we will not leave you alone.
All right, and that's one free action per round, so it is technically. Wow. Narsen's turn.
So, will you get a free action per round? You get to pull that free action out at any moment?
Free actions include talking. Let me look up which ones are free actions.
I got this.
And you can pull them out at any moment during the round, but just once?
Just once.
All right. Free actions. Drop an item, drop prone, speak, cease a concentration spell, or cast a quickened spell.
and so you're allowed a free action. Because the way it's working is 5e's turns are like 3-4 seconds long, so you can't like do a a soliloquy,
conversation.
but you can talk a little bit. So
Okay.
yeah. All right, so it is Narsen's turn.
All right. Now, with my weapons, to where I have a dagger, a short sword, and a short bow, to where I have all three, right? I don't have
Yes,
to pick
you do
one.
have all three.
Oh,
You have all three on your person.
okay. And now, am I able to move to get closer to
Yes.
to get my bonus?
So the way that your turn can progress is you have movement, action, bonus action, free action. You can take those in whatever order you want.
Okay.
And movement can be broken up as well. You do
Yes.
not have to take
Yes.
all your movement and then once done moving, you're done. You can like move, do your action or your bonus action, and then move away if you need to.
Yep.
And your movement is limited by your character's speed. I believe standard is 30.
Yeah, mine's
half
30.
elf is
Able to move 30
speed.
feet.
Yep.
Yeah, mine's
So you should
30.
be able to move 30. So if you want to move 15 there, stab him, and then run away, you can do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
So
But you might wanna
how do
back-
you?
I would suggest backing away, not running away, and turning around.
Yeah.
Because then reactionary attacks can occur.
Well, Hidden as a rogue also has a disengage
He does.
thing.
Disengage is a.
He
disengage is-
can disengage as a cunning action. He has a cunning action.
It's a
That's true.
yeah, as a bonus. That's a bonus action. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you for
So
reminding
how do you do the thing where you can see how far you can move?
me. So
There's a little ruler up on the right hand
Yeah.
side.
Okay.
And that gives you measurements. So you
Gotcha.
can.
Every
Okay.
square is 5 foot, and
Yeah.
you've got to drag your character.
Okay. Okay. All right, so I have three different types of movement, or 3 different moves, right, or actions. I can move. I can what?
Move, action, which is attacking, casting a spell, etc. Bonus action, which for you is like disengage. If you have any feats or things like that that are bonus actions, those are usable. And then free actions like picking up something, dropping something, talking, etc.
Okay. I guess I'll move here. Yeah, because I can move and then attack, and then I get a bonus attack for being close to somebody else, right?
Yeah.
How that works. So I can attack twice.
Very nice.
All right. So yeah. So I'll do that. Oh, it won't. So I'll attack this wolf.
Okay.
And what do I need to do? Do my
So that's
damage roll or
that's your hit roll, which is a d20. And
Okay.
I believe you have advantage because you're next to somebody?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now, what do I add to that?
To
Nothing.
the hit,
So-
go ahead.
For advantage, you roll twice and take the higher die.
Yeah. Okay. So 15 or 2.
Two.
That's
So you
easy.
take 15.
15.
Yeah, so 15 hits.
And then, what did we? So I'm doing my short. So I've got a short sword and I've got a dagger. One is a 1d4 plus 3, and then one's a 1d6 plus 3.
Yeah.
So which one would I want to attack with?
The 1d6.
The 1d6.
The d6.
You
Okay.
have a higher chance for a higher.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
well,
higher number. So
obviously
yeah.
you can only get
Now would I do it twice again, or is it 3 times?
This is. So this is a full sneak attack, so you'd get the multiple d6s.
So 3 again.
Yeah, so 3ds, or yes,
Nice.
yes.
4. Now I don't have any modifier or a. Well, no, I get the d6 plus 3, right?
Yeah, so d6 plus
So-
3, then 2d6.
3 times. Oh.
So 7, 5, 7.
Seven total.
Well, I rolled 3 dice. It was 4, 2, and 4.
So
I don't know.
10 plus the 3, 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it also says I have an attack bonus of +5.
That's to hit, I think.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
So, you run up to your friend and just go for like a jab at the really, really large red-furred wolf, and catch it basically in like its thigh, and it's very deep cut. So as you like pull your sword away, it like sprays its blood, and you can see it's now very hard for it to stand on that side, but it is still standing. And we have up next, Dramaz.
Cool. I'm just gonna do Eldritch Blast. Try to kill it.
Okay. So we got Eldritch Blast.
3. Rip.
So 3?
That's to hit, right?
Yeah, it's a hit.
Yeah.
So you do throw an Eldritch Blast, but the shot goes wide and impacts and sets on fire a nearby tree.
Very useful, guys.
And then Lunaria.
Especially that Agrimon.
I'm going to attempt to shoot the same wolf with my bow again.
Okay.
1.
17 plus 7.
17 plus 7. That's a hit.
None of the wolves have attacked us yet, right?
1 plus 3.
Only 1. 1 plus 3? Okay, gotcha. So, you hit him, but it kind of just like grazes him, and he still feels it, but it does not wound him very much. And so, responding to the big red wolf's call from earlier, you hear behind you several howls, and from the woods behind you appear several smaller wolves. And then 2 from the lair.
Interesting.
And so next is the 2 wolves inside of the lair appear to just be like protecting the entrance. They are not moving.
Okay.
What are they?
Go ahead.
No, it's not my turn.
The yellow-furred wolf is now going to turn and attempt to attack Dryer with this time it's fangs.
Alright. A question about spiritual weapon. Can I cast it? Well, I guess I should look it up.
Yeah, you tell me.
It says casting time 1 bonus action.
So yeah, that's a bonus. Or no, that's not a reaction.
But I don't have a bonus. Okay,
Yeah.
so I guess all I got is to. Oh well, I could dodge. This bow isn't really gonna help me right here, though.
Does a 14 hit you?
All right. Wait. So, I try to dodge. I'm really in a bad spot.
So that's athletics plus acrobatics?
I got 7 for athletics.
Yeah, no. You
And
do not.
acrobatics is okay.
Okay, so does a... Okay, so that does hit.
I didn't bring up my.
And then you take 8 damage. All right.
Do I? Oh,
No, go ahead.
is it my turn? Or it's not.
No, it's the wolves. It's very much the wolves' turn.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. So the yellow-furred one, upon attacking you and wounding you, just says, "We just want to be left alone."
Can I reply?
Yes.
Why, weren't you talking about invading the town of Welton?
And so that's about a couple seconds. So the
Yeah,
yellow one can
that's
reply, only him, and like looks at the red one.
Oh, okay. Does anybody else hear this conversation going on?
Oh yeah, this is very audible.
For everybody?
Yeah.
Got it.
Right now.
Yeah. And so the red one, or sorry, it's gonna be this wolf is going to, because they want to be with their leaders, they're going to attempt to attack, I think this is Cernan's character? No, this is not Cernan's. This is Nazrin's character. So does a 15 hit you?
Damn. Ouch.
And then you'll take 7 damage.
Can I do my dodge move thing that I have?
Yeah, what is it?
I don't know. I just know I have one. Find it. I gotta find the right page. One sec. I saw that I got it like on level 3 because I remember seeing it last night, but I don't know where I saw it.
You have a.
Deception.
Let me see what this is.
Stealth. Disguise kit, forgery kit.
You have cunning action, which can be used to disengage or dash, but only in your turn.
Oh, okay.
You don't
Gotcha.
get dodge
Maybe
until level 5. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. I knew I had it at some point.
Yeah, you do have it though. You take 7 damage from that one, and then this second wolf right here is going to attempt to attack Dramaz. So does a 7 hit you?
Are you talking to me or who?
Dramaz.
Okay.
So I look at my armor class, right?
Yeah, it's armor class.
So I'm 12, so it
So
doesn't...
7 does not. So
Okay.
the wolf like lunges at you, but is like blinded by the Eldritch Blast that you threw halfway across the universe and just like misses.
Yay!
Next up is going to be the giant wolf with the red fur. Now the giant wolf with the red fur is going to turn towards Nazrin's character and open its mouth really, really wide, and this just like guttural scream comes out. And with that guttural scream comes a font of fire moving towards Nazrin.
What? Confuse Ray?
Huh?
Confuse Ray.
So let me make sure I just read it right. So it is actually attacking in a 15-foot cone. So it will hit Nazrin and both of its fellow wolves. And that is going to be... You must roll a d20. The first wolf fails, as does the second wolf. So Nazrin must roll a d20.
Believe in a thing called love. Or just luck in general.
Nazra needs some IRL dice for the fun.
See.
What am I doing?
Roll a d20.
Rip.
What did you roll?
7.
Yes, you are definitely hit. And so the fire does 10 damage to you. And then all of the wolves fail. The closest wolf is just engulfed in flames and just then crumples to the floor.
Rip that wolf. That wolf is just dead and down.
And the second wolf is just singed, but very, very, you can tell, is in a lot of pain.
Aw, poor puppy.
I am obviously, for some reason, finding emotional
And
attachment
then
to these wolves.
these two wolves, one is going to attempt to attack Lunaria. Does a 16 hit you?
Yeah, it does.
And that'll be, well, just 5 damage. And the second wolf will attempt to couple with his friend for... Does a 9 hit you?
A miss.
Okay, so you don't need to worry about that one. It is now player turns once again.
Yay, my turn! Okay.
So it is now Dreyer first.
I turn... where is my map?
Yo, I didn't get a turn.
Oh, you didn't get
Wait,
your
who?
turn? Did I skip you?
You
that's
skipped
right.
me.
You're because
Oh
you
my
had the
God.
lowest roll. Okay, sorry.
I'm
yes.
after all the wolves.
Cernan, yes, you are after all the wolves. It is actually your turn, then Dreyer's.
All right. So, I'm going to cast Radiant Soul. So I'm gonna rip off my trench coat.
Oh, shit.
I'm covered in bright white armor. My eyes start glowing, and 2 wings sprout out of my back. And then I rush forward and stab the big red wolf, dealing extra radiant damage on top of my D8.
Alright, roll for hit.
For a hit is... Oh, let's be good, please. That is a...
You have advantage because you're technically the assassin class next to a player as well.
Oh, yes. So I got... Low is 14 plus... High is 18 plus 3, 21.
That hits. Roll damage.
Roll damage is going to be a D8 with my dual daggers made of shadows. That is a 4 plus 3 radiant damage. It's a 7.
7? Okay.
Yes.
So 7 radiant damage. This person who was previously in an ugly pink trench coat rips off this trench coat and sprouts angel wings, which he then uses to help propel him forward towards this wolf, and stabs this wolf like in the chest, and the chest like backpedals like afraid. Very, very wounded, but somehow is still standing.
I look very confused. I'm very confused about this whole turn of events.
I would like to yell at him, why didn't you do this during our last mission?
I didn't have the chance, and I really didn't need to.
Alright.
And so the red wolf then takes this moment to like talk, just saying, just like, for all intents and purposes, you can't understand the common. He's just screeching in anger.
Is it my turn?
Yes, now it is.
Alright, I'm going to face towards the red wolf now and cast, what is it called? Spiritual weapon, for my life domain. It's
Okay.
range 60 feet, and you can make a melee spell attack against a creature within 5 feet of the weapon.
Okay.
On hit, the target takes 1d8 force damage plus your spellcasting ability modifier. So I have to roll for hit first,
Yes, you must roll for hit.
and that's a 20.
Natural?
No, I'm asking. I got a 19 actually.
Okay. So you hit.
What was it? Sorry, 1d8. I have my d8 plus, and my spellcasting modifier is Wisdom, I believe. Yes. So 6 plus 4, so it's a 10.
So with this flash of light imbued into your attack, you just like.
I would like to say that my weapon, it's very important, is a giant mace in the shape of a crescent moon. It's the wand of 4 moons, the symbol of Saloon, my god, and
with a monumental effort, you take this like flash of light formed into a mace and smash it into like the side of this wolf's head, and the wolf just like kind of howls in pain and just kind of like just staggers and like looks around before finally just like falling to the floor. And then go ahead.
Can I talk before
yes, please, go ahead.
If I can, I would like to turn to the other wolf and say, can we talk now?
And then the yellow wolf just looks at the crumpled body with arrows and leaking light and just all these wounds, and just nods and just howls, and the rest of the wolves just back up.
I got goosebumps. I'm kind of proud. No, like pushing it.
And so we're not in combat, so you're free.
All right. So I've only used one of my spells today, right?
I believe so,
I
yeah.
used two. One. Sorry.
So combat's over.
Combat's over.
I end Radiant Soul and I put my trench coat back on.
We'll talk about that later, Cernan.
I walk up behind him and Cernan and just start just patting the back of the trench coat, trying to feel the wings that are under there, and look at him and say, "That's very impressive."
One,
hurt
there's
a
nothing
lot?
there. And second of all, they're very sexual. Please don't touch them.
That's a very cool trick. I just start giving him a back massage at this point.
I walk up to the dead red wolf and inspect it. Can I investigate or anything of that
Yes,
sort?
yes, you may.
I wish, and I mentioned to the others, if only I had detect magic, I could detect magic. And I roll a, damn it, where's my 20? I keep losing, there it is. 10. I roll a 10, and what am I checking? Is it investigation or perception?
This will be investigation.
Okay, it is 0, so I got a 10.
Okay, so you do detect that the red wolf has a very heavy aura of magic. You can't quite place what it is, but it reminds you a lot of the magic that a sorcerer would possess. But it is fractured. Like, this isn't like the whole. This isn't a full spell. Like, this isn't a completed spell.
So something that an apprentice might cast. Someone named Alexei Merrickson.
I'm gonna find this asshole.
So are we able to go into the cave now?
Yes, you may go into
the wolves
cave.
are ready to talk to us whenever we are, but
Yeah,
may I heed my companions that they are willing to talk. Maybe if we simply end the village's problems of the wolves and the beast, they will pay us more.
Or we can tell the village that we killed them so hard their bodies were destroyed and we could bring back no proof.
I approve.
And we can send the wolves on their way so they won't be hunted by the villagers if we tell them that we just got rid of them.
Wait, can the wolves talk now?
Yes, the wolves
Since
can
we
talk.
killed the big wolves? Okay.
You killed the Redford big wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Should
The
we
yellow
remove its
one
body?
is still there.
Yeah.
It is removed. Thank you.
The yellow one is still there,
Yes,
and the yellow one is the one that wants to talk.
Okay.
I guess we're all. Then I was over here. Oh, I keep touching the stream instead of the actual map.
Yeah, right.
This is free movement,
over
free
here,
speaking.
then.
Just let me know.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn
I want to go into the cave and look and use my dark vision.
Okay.
Finally.
So
I will go with him using my dark vision.
Right.
Upon approaching the entrance to the cave, The two guard wolves kind of like tense, like they don't want to let you pass, but the large yellow wolf simply looks at them and nods, and you are allowed passage into the cave. And when you reach them, you realize that inside the cave is just 12 wolf pups with just various bits of food huddled around a fire.
Aww. There's so we investigate the cave. Can we investigate it thoroughly and see if there's anything else?
Yes, sure. So continue. What do you want to do? Investigation, nature, perception?
Perception.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm rolling a 9 plus 6, so 15.
15? Okay. So, upon entering, there's no, like, signs of human life, but surprisingly enough, you do see what looks to be a discarded cloak, and perhaps a tome underneath it. You can't quite tell, just some depression in this cloak that is left crumpled on the side of the cave.
Okay, I walk up to all of the cloak and the tome, and I call over, Jamez, you're a warlock. Do you know anything about sorcery?
So, can I do an Arcana check on the tome and
Yes,
the cloak?
go right ahead.
All right. 2 plus 3. If I have proficiency, I don't add 2.
You can add proficiency as well.
So is that plus 5 if it's 3 plus proficiency?
Mm-hmm.
So that would be total 7.
You do notice that the aura coming from the tome vaguely reminds you of a sorcerer's magic, but you cannot tell much more.
Yeah, it's a sorcerer.
You're no help, sir.
Wow, that was really loud.
Well, I'm gonna let everybody else investigate and slowly walk up to the yellow wolf for a conversation. I'm gonna let everybody else do their thing first. Walking back up to the front.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody else is done, I'll talk to the wolf, but...
I'm just standing back, just kind of letting her do her thing, and just kind of taking all of this in right now. It's been a very strange day for me.
Okay.
Which says something.
That's true.
Knowing your character, it says a lot.
It says a lot.
Yeah.
I approach the wolf. I understand you're trying to protect your pups, and we don't want to harm any pups, not if we don't have to. We're really more worried about the erratic behavior of the wolves as of lately, since the sorcerer had been missing. I see his clothes and tome are in your cave. I know he has something to do with that red wolf. Please explain yourselves.
And then the yellow wolf looks at the cloak and just kind of like grunts a little bit and just like goes on and says, Alexi was here weeks ago. He's still here.
Are you Alexi?
And then the wolf kind of just like cocks its head a little bit and says, half.
Oh shit. And I look at the dead body, kind of trying to piece shit together.
And then, yeah, it follows your gaze and looks at the red wolf and says, that is the other half?
Oh, it was the other half.
My
Where's your
bad.
body?
And then it kind of just like cocks its head again and be like, body?
I don't know if we can undo this.
Where's your human body? Do you still have it?
I no longer have a human body.
Are these your pups?
And then the yellow-furred wolf looks at the pups and says, not my pups, no, but they were touched by the same magic.
Where did this magic come from? Was it yours?
It was mine. I came to repulse the wolves, but instead of pushing them away, pushed me into them.
Oh, fuck! I kind of sing song, trying to figure out what the village would want us to even do in this situation.
Hmm.
I'm looking wildly at my companions. What do we do? I don't want to hurt the pups, but this is
ask them to leave.
Well, I mean, but
Find a new home.
yeah, we could.
We
But the
were
pups
planning
talk.
to leave, but the owlbears kept us from moving, so we had to push
Hey, look-
closer to Welton.
I look at the yellow wolf. Do any of the other wolves talk besides
Would
you
I-
or the red wolf.
Would I
Yeah.
would I know any places that were nearby that would lead roughly that would be like that would lead to like they're like are like portals or like that are weak points between the realms that would lead to the Feywild?
Do an
by
Arcana
chance?
check.
Nice.
Hey, real quick
With
though.
advantage because it's where I'm from.
Yeah, Arcana check is good with advantage.
Natural 20.
So you
Nice.
notice very positively that there is an area nearby that has a very strong magical presence, and it's inside of the cave.
-1, so 19.
But is very, very strong magical presence, like a faint ripple in reality, if you will, emanating
Yeah.
from inside the cave.
All right, so I walk over to it and I'm like, yep, that. I just kind of like start sniffing it. Yep, that smells like home. It's got a nice wild smell of juniper.
So this one.
Home.
Oh.
It's a place I haven't thought of in a long time.
Should try it out more often. It's interesting. And
Oh.
so I start kind of prodding it and trying to see if there's a way to like kind of open it up a little bit so that like way like you can actually like go like into so that way like the like wolf-sized entities could cross in between the realms
And then the yellow furred
or planes.
the yellow furred wolf kind of looks over and says, "I had already tried, but I could not do it by myself."
Well, we could try it. We've got a few magic users here that are pretty good at doing things. We could see if they maybe their power combined with. Can you still use magic? Are you not able to use magic? How's this work in your
In
wolf
response, the yellow furred wolf turns away from everyone and lets loose the same guttural yell that the red one did, but instead of emanating fire, lets loose a just pure yellow burst of magic.
form? All right, that answers that question.
Before I try to use my power to set these wolves free, I want to know what we're supposed to tell his father, and I want to know if any of these other wolves talk too. We have to know what we're letting loose into the world.
We have to tell his dad that he died,
Why?
because if he knows that he's alive, he'll go after him forever.
Are you sure about that?
I'm
Des,
not.
you met him.
I don't think he would. He hasn't.
I'm not
last 3
sure.
weeks.
I'm not sure that he would do that. He kind of left his son out in the wilderness for 3 weeks and didn't really seem to do much.
And
He
I'm
was,
more-
he was holding a lot
more sure he was
back
afraid.
when I talked with him.
Oh, well, if we tell the truth, I
But
think it heeds warnings to others in the future to not play with magic in the same way.
If we tell the truth, I don't think we get paid.
Oh.
We still need
Well,
wolf
then we
fairies,
just
too.
lie. It's an easy answer, guys.
Alright.
They bought my story about killing 7 wolves. Adding a few more is not going to be much of a difference.
Exactly.
We can
Yeah,
take
I'm with
them-
him.
We can take them to the cave and show them the blood, maybe. The one giant body should be enough, and scrub this
can-
place up, make it look like we obliterated them. Vlad
The,
can vouch.
the yellow wolf turns over and looks at the body of the red wolf and says, "You can say that you burnt the den down."
We could say it was the only way to get rid of the magic.
I could work.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there we go.
Alright then. Let's try to open up this portal. Where does this lead to anyway, Des?
Somewhere in the Feywild. Hoping it's
Feywild.
fairly close to the to my home, to my home.
Now, on one condition, I turn to the other wolves. You must not hurt any humanoid creature. Owl bears, because Des has a thing for them.
how are they
There
gonna eat?
there is a pack of were animals that live near my home. You should, if you can find them and chat with them. They are always looking for new friends, buddies. Just be careful. They do like to punch and claw you. I still have the scars from one of them.
The yellow furred wolf just nods and says, "Agree."
Alright then. Looks
All right.
like, cracked my knuckles. We're finished here. Let's get the show on the road. Open up this This is your magic door.
All right.
And so the yellow wolf kind of like steps into the cave with all of the wolves in tow behind where this like ripple is, and like looks towards the magic users.
What do we roll? Like,
so in this case, because we're not getting too particular, let's just say any fun spell. Any fun spell.
Can I help? Because I can smudge between dimensions and stuff.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can smudge.
I'm gonna do bless, because I think blessing on the wall would probably work.
So I'll attempt Shadow Step. Because that's actually teleportation.
All right.
Got an 18. Plus Constitution +1, so 19.
And the yellow-furred wolf kind of like plants its feet and just like lets out the loudest screech, followed by this like pure white but also like bolt of lightning style magic from its throat. And with the spell that requires energy and the one that also transports, there is a small door that's opened in reality. This like small circle about the size of about half the size of a human opens up with this like yellow outline, and inside you can just see this like purple light emanating from, but you can't quite see through it. And then
I gotta like start ushering the wolves through and be like, all right, time to go. Whoop whoop. It's not gonna last long.
and then
Is it big enough for them to go through, or do I'm
Yes.
gonna go ahead and throw my spell just to keep it up open longer, if that's okay? Because I'm like,
yeah, that's fine.
I don't want anybody to get hurt. So
Yes.
anyway, it's a 4 on a D8 for damage on my spell. I'm assuming it hit the wall correctly. So anyway.
Yes. So the adult
Bless
wolves
you.
start ushering the pups in first, followed by the normal sized wolves, and then the yellow furred wolf turns around and just like kind of nods a little bit and then goes inside and the portal closes. This like little like and then a small burst of like white light and then it dissipates.
I say we did it, and I cast light to make little fireworks.
Huzzah! I dance around like my guardian from Destiny 2 would in the fireworks.
That was the idea.
Sorry.
I look at the fireworks and just am like even like have this very kind of like amused look on my face and just like I did something.
I cast fog cloud so we can have a smoke party.
Whoa!
I cast Shadow Step again and leave the smoke.
I yell out the cave, Vlad, it's a party, come join us.
This shepherd, who has only so far heard 3 giant guttural screams mixed with just arrows and steel and just dying screams, kind of like peeks his head out from his little hovel and just says, "No thanks."
I just realized the cave, there's like a fog machine and disco lights. It's like a rave in there right now.
Oh yeah, I
Hey,
started
y'all, come
singing.
on in, Vlad. It's lit, fam.
Oh shit, let's go get our drink on and get our gold. And
All right.
let's get Des to fuck that dwarf's wife.
That's all, folks.
Right? And there is
All right, I'm just gonna sprout wings and fly home. Peace, losers.
there is a turn-in phase if you want to do that, or we can call that right there.
I would like, wait, oh, I see.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get do we want this experience for later if we ever rehash these characters? Do we like, or do we just gonna restart from the exact same spot, kind of, because I think we all kind of might want to do slight editing.
Yeah, you just want to call the one shot and just do the
Yeah,
edits.
I
right.
think so.
I'm good combo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get edit for next time and then set up an actual story.
Bitchier.
Yeah, all right, that sounds good. So all right, so I'm gonna.
No time like the present.
So thanks everyone for hanging out. We were on the front
Yeah.
page for a little bit.
Yeah, we were front page.
We were
front
up and
page.
coming for our first hour, and then for the
Yep.
next 3 hours, we were featured right next to the 3 E3 streams that
So,
make
we were
yeah.
front page.
We were
yeah.
featured.
We were.
We
featured
were
on that
there's
shit?
pictures in Discord. I think. We
Oh,
were
yeah, buddy.
featured.
So
Let me
I mean,
check.
I'm down to do this again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
no,
need a
we're
little
not
bit
featured
more
anymore.
DM
We were.
practice. I'm sorry in advance, but
Oh, you good, dude?
No, you did well.
Where are these
Great.
where were these showed at?
I'll see where I can get the.
I tweeted
see if
it.
I can get my video fixed.
Oh, there it is. I found it. Yeah,
There's
yeah,
an
yeah.
extra stream page.
so
Yeah. Oh,
And
stream.
this is
You can.
Positive Pineapple's first stream, and we got featured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
for
got
sure.
featured
Yeah.
on front page. Hell yeah.
Awesome.
So
8
do
from 50.
an outro real quick. So I am mixer.com/Rednolas. We have just shout out to you guys. Start with Papa Pineapple. He's Daddy Pineapple. This is his idea.
Yeah, I'm hidden on mixer.com/hidden.
Fef.
Next.
Oh,
Fef.
yes.
Fef,
I am
yeah.
Fefinator. You can call me Feffy or Fef. Mixer.com/Fefinator or the Fefinator on Twitter. And I hope to do a lot more Dungeons and Dragons. Yay!
Awesome.
ComfyGamer. ComfyGamer. You can find me at mixer.com/ComfyGamer. I want to do more Dungeons and Dragons too, so I think we'll continue this at some point
Hell, fuck yeah.
with more like animations and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm gonna download all that.
More
stuff,
RP, more roleplay and stuff.
Yeah.
So. All right, Derek.
Mixer.com/DerekSmifz. Social is all the same, DerekSmifz. I'm excited to keep doing this.
I am the Hackman at mixer.com/TheHackman. And this is campaign adventure D&D session 1 of today, and I gotta do another one in 2.5 hours.
Nice.
Where I'm
Yeah,
dungeon
can we plug that?
where I am GMing, and it'll be over on twitch.tv/the Riot Sessions, and it's gonna twitch.tv/the Riot Sessions.
Awesome.
And,
Let's link that in chat for anybody who wants more
and then I'll post it.
of this.
Yep.
And then last
There you
but definitely not least, WieldingHammer.
I'm WieldingHammer. You can find me on mixer.com/WieldingHammer. Hopefully, I get my video fixed because I'm looking forward to doing more of this in the future.
Right.
Yeah, we'll get
Absolutely.
you fixed. Don't worry. Like, we won't be as
Yes.
crunched for time next time. Now that I know how everything actually functions. Awesome.
Yes, it'll be better.
So,
I'm so excited.
all right, guys. I know a
And-
couple of us will be streaming later today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there another D&D channel?
Let's
Someone
find out.
Mixer that we can go host?
I wasn't
Can I
sure if
run
Mixer
on Mixer? Doubt it.
does Mixer have. Oh.
Yeah, they've
They
got a
do.
D&D channel. We're in
Yeah,
it.
we're in
Oh,
the D&D.
that's awesome.
I think we're the only ones in it though.
There was
Probably.
a couple others earlier. Let me see if
What?
they're.
That so excites me.
See,
No
it's
way.
not in the 5e one though. It's just
Dungeons
That's-
and Dragons 3.
Dungeons
I
and
don't see
Dragons.
anybody playing D. Oh, I found in Dungeons and Dragons. I found there are 3 other streams.
Oh, there's one
but
with
there's
Cam.
no. We got Prince Lightning, Iam,
What about
and
Nerd
Nerd Immersion.
Let's. I want to do Nerd Immersion. They look like they're set up. They look like they're having
Yeah.
a good time.
Yeah.
All right,
Do
and
it,
then
yeah.
You have all the permissions, Papa. So I'm just gonna cut the stream.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, love you guys.
All right,
See you in a bit.
Let's go raid them.
Bye.
All right.
Bye bye.